Welcome back to Gil's Arena, presented by Underdog. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We were just talking about Ryan Coogler's new film, Sinners, premiered this weekend.
Great movie.
You enjoyed it?
Oh, man.
I stayed away for the whole thing. That's how I knew it was good.
Yeah, me too.
Because movies be nap time for me.
There's a lot of good messages in that movie.
It is.
Very deep, spiritual, a lot of vampires.
Had a good argument after, too, talking about it.
You did?
Yeah, you know, like, he's like, you know when the movie make you talk about it after and y'all like, oh.
Nah.
Oh, so you don't do that type of
I just watch a movie.
Okay.
Then I'm going about my business.
Go.
Nah, that don't sound like you.
I don't want to have a conversation about a movie.
You got to break it down, really get in depth.
You couldn't talk about the Lakers, shit.
We had to talk about them today, but we're going to try to keep it positive. But this is Gil's Arena, presented by Underdog. As always, we got the legend Gilbert Arenas here with us. Damn. A little dry. It took a little long.
Yeah,
Checks must not have got delivered.
I had to walk here. That's why they nigga ain't fucking with you right now. That mile walk.
That mile walk to the crib.
That's why I'm like, fuck Hector.
We got NBA champion of the world, Swaggy P, Nick Young, back here with us. Yeah. And on this side of the couch, representing Tough Crowd University, Mr. B, Brandon Jennings. Bucks and 6?
Yeah.
Still Bucks and 6?
All right. We all right.
We're going to find out. It's tough. It's tough around these parts. We got a special guest making his first appearance in the arena, former DJ that's made his name in the entertainment game as a journalist and interviewer of the biggest celebrities, musicians, and athletes in the world. Past 17 years, he's grown his YouTube channel to over 6 million subs, nearly 6 billion views. With his hard-hitting, unfiltered approach, produces some of the most viral clips we've seen. DJ Vlad, welcome to Gil's Arena.
Thank you for having me, man. It's an honor to be here.
So we hear the voice. You know, we don't always get to see the face. You've been popping out a lot of show people.
Yeah.
One of the most legendary voices known to man. We hear it all over the internet and the interwebs, but everything good with you?
Yeah, man. It's an honor to be here, man. Gil's been on my show a bunch of times. You know?
Is DJ Vlad?
Yeah. DJ Vlad.
You started off as a real DJ?
Yeah. I earned, like, let me see, I won Mixtape of the Year. You know, at the Mixtape Awards for the Tupac Rap Phenomenon mixtape. I got Mashup of the Year for Rock Phenomenon, me and Rock Raider. We put together this rock hip hop mashup. We won that. So during that time, I was making noise.
Okay.
Yeah, I was touring all around the world, Australia, Europe, Asia, everything else like that. So I transitioned to video.
Okay, so it's not like Dr. Somebody and then they never been a
No.
doctor.
Dr.
All right, so DJ, it's a real
DJ Vlad is a real thing. Exactly.
So how'd you first get into the interviewing game, and when did you know that you had something special?
I mean, when I was a DJ, I was, you know, when you have hostings, you have a certain artist like, you know, like a Young Jeezy or whatever hosting your mixtape, you kind of interview them and you sort of incorporate that into the mixtape. The mixtape game is sort of like the food truck of the hip hop industry. You know what I'm saying? It's like underground, you don't really make a lot of money, you make a little bit of noise. It's not exactly legal. You know, you're pushing product that's not really cleared copyright wise. So, and like CDs were starting to go away. You know, we're working primarily mom and pop, you know, stores and so forth. And as I was progressing in it, I realized I was having to work harder. The genre was going away. So I kind of pivoted into video. Quincy Jones' son, QD3, I had done a project for his Beef DVDs at one point. Me and him just got into a long conversation in the studio. And he kind of explained how documentaries worked and so forth. And I'm like, I think I can kind of do that. You know, so I think the first video project was with Game. So me and him put together like a mixtape and DVD called The Devil's Advocate. And then it was like, oh shit, like I think I'm onto something. So when the street DVD game was around, I was one of the players in that. Like Smack was probably the biggest name at that time. You know, Fendi had the Come Up DVD and I had something called Hot in Here DVD. And that was cool, but then DVDs were going away. People were going into on demand and so forth at that time. And I was trying to figure out what to do with my life, you know, how to pivot because I was starting to get older. I was starting to get into my late 30s. And it was like, YouTube introduced this partner program and the light bulb went off. I said, this is it. This is going to be the biggest video platform on earth. Now, I keep in mind, before all this, I went to college. I went to UC Berkeley. I have a computer science degree. I spent a couple of years programming and so forth. So technology-wise, I kind of understand things that other people may not. So I just sort of saw the vision of where this is going to go. And it's like, okay, you can make these videos. Other platforms can embed them, and that'll add to your views as well as to the advertising. So at that point, in 2008, I just stopped everything I was doing. I stopped DJing. I stopped doing hostings. I stopped doing DVDs. Like everything was YouTube. And the original idea was like every day we're going to drop original content, 365 days a year. Like nobody was doing that. Clipping is common now, but back then people were just putting out the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So it was just that mentality in 2008 kind of carried on for 17 years.
Now you turned that into a multi-million-dollar industry doing big things out there, man. We appreciate you pulling up.
Thank you.
We're going to get more in depth with you in a little bit. We got a lot of basketball to get into as well. So for all the fans out there, we still have 2 viewing options for you. Our traditional version, mobile vertical version. Pick whichever one you want to watch. Just make sure you support the show. Here's what's cracking in the arena today. Clippers got the full Westbrook experience in their Game 1 loss to the Nuggets. Joker will always be Joker, but is Russ really the X factor in this series? Steph and playoff Jimmy got to cooking to help the Warriors steal Game 1 in Houston. What do the Rockets need to do to slow down the Dubs duo in Game 2? And we have to talk about it. Wolves shot so good from deep, they put the Lakers to sleep in Game 1. What adjustments do the purple and gold need to make to avoid going down 0-2? I don't have to use that photo, but all good. It is what it is. We got to talk about the good and the bad. It is playoff season. But before we get into all that, as always, show is brought to you by Underdog. Go ahead, download the app. Use promo code GIL. Get up to $1,000 in bonus cash plus a special pick'em. Playoff basketball is here, and Underdog is going big this year with the extender promo. You'll get bigger payouts the longer any series goes. Here's a quick explainer for all the fans out there.
On Underdog, you can play your way to bigger boosts each round of the playoffs with the extender. Start a series by using your Game 1 boost and continue boosting each subsequent game. The longer the series, the bigger the boosts. Underdog, the best place to pick playoff basketball.
So there's another reason to root for 7-game series. Start making all your basketball picks on Underdog. The special is live on the app now. To celebrate the special going live, we have the extender, Scott Foster, somewhere in the building. Oh, he might be.
Hey, man, he's scary, dog.
He's scary. He's not coming out yet.
That scared me a couple times.
He's still Game 1.
No, y'all put him in a place where I walk every day and it was in the dark and it just a random white man. Yeah, just a random white man in the house scared the shit out of me.
Ready to extend this series at a moment's notice.
No, I swear to God, that shit scared the shit out of me.
So the extender is live on the Underdog app. Take advantage of the special right now. But as for tonight, Gil has some picks up in his partner pack on the Underdog app. Let's take a look. You got Cat, higher 18.5 points. Pistons Knicks Game 2 tonight. Cade Cunningham will miss his first 3-point attempt. You rooting against Cade, Gil?
No, not rooting against him. I just the first 3.
Okay, all right, just making sure. Nikola Jokic, higher 7.5 assists. Game 2, Clippers Nuggets tonight. James Harden, higher 17.5 points. Harden had 32. Crazy. Game 1, expecting him to keep cooking.
What?
They missed first.
If it's there, yeah.
Damn.
How everybody else feeling about Gil's picks tonight?
Hard. That's hard.
I like him. I don't know if Cade gonna miss his first shot.
His first 3?
Yeah.
He doesn't shoot threes like that, but cool.
Yeah,
James gonna have that in the first half.
Yeah.
James gonna get the cooking. So
Man, I've been working, man.
you been putting up numbers.
An
Gil.
extender, have you been playing?
I do.
Cat.
I
Did you lose or you win?
won some, I lost some.
No, the extender.
I haven't done the extender yet.
Yeah, I'm 3-0.
Okay. Keep it extended.
3-0.
You know, I do the live pickups, Gil, to get my bread right.
Yeah, I can cash out right now for $18. It's 3,100 if I keep going, but plus 18 right now, I'm good.
Take the 18.
I was thinking about it.
Get it going. Well, if you like Gil's picks and want to ride with him, download the Underdog app, use promo code GIL, up to $1,000 in bonus cash plus a special pick 'em. And if you can't watch the show live with us on YouTube, audio versions available on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. All right, so let's get into some playoff basketball. Clippers pulled up to Denver for Game 1 of their playoff series with the Nuggets. Clippers are one of the hottest teams in the league, riding an 8-game winning streak to secure the 5th seed. Meanwhile, the Nuggets had won 3 straight games under interim head coach David Alderman, who was tasked with replacing Michael Malone with just 3 games left in the regular season. A familiar face would be the deciding factor in this one as the Clips got the full Westbrook experience. Let's take a look at some of the highlights if we can, please, Paolo. So Clippers led by as much as 15 points in the first half. Thanks in large part to plays like this. From the claw, Kawhi Leonard, like I said, 15-point lead in the first half, but the Nuggets came storming back with a 13-2 run to end the second quarter, cutting the deficit to 4 at halftime. Jokic finished 1 rebound shy of a triple-double 29 points, 12 dimes, 9 boards, and 3 steals while going 12 for 24 from the field. Jokic scored or assisted on 18 of the Nuggets' 23 points in the third quarter. Aaron Gordon added 25 and 8 boards on 8 of 14 shooting, while Jamal Murray battled some shooting struggles to chip in 21 points and 7 assists. He was 7 for 20 from the field. So this thing was intense. Clippers had a fourth quarter lead. Nuggets came back through. Some big plays, thanks in large part to Russell Westbrook. So after catching some heat for late game blunders in the regular season, Russell Westbrook was a difference maker in this one. Westbrook played 34 minutes off the bench, and despite going 5 of 17 from the field, finished with 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 steals, making his presence felt on both sides of the ball. All 5 Clipper starters scored in double figures. Harden had 32, 11 dimes, and 6 boards. Kawhi had 22 and 6 boards and 3 steals, but also led the Clippers with 7 turnovers. So with the Nuggets down 1 late in the fourth, Westbrook hit a clutch 3, but then Harden came back, tied it back, and in overtime, Nuggets did their thing. So a little over a minute left in the game, Nuggets up 1. Christian Brown with the big 3 to put them up 4. Harden responded once again with the floater, but Clippers down 3, 10 seconds remaining to go in the game. Westbrook delivered once again, proved to be the game-deciding play, knocking that inbounds pass off of Harden. Nuggets forced 20 turnovers in the game, were plus 20 in points off of those turnovers. So after the game, Westbrook had this to say about his role with the Nuggets squad in this series against his former team.
Yeah, I mean, Russ is Russ. Defensively, he was absolutely incredible. He was playing free safety out there. I thought a lot of the reasons why the turnovers happened, even if it wasn't him forcing it, just the way he was roaming around and impacting the game, was great for us. And then offensively, a couple of times I thought he attacked. Maybe we could have pulled it out and executed, but that's what Russ does. He's going to play in attack mode. So I don't think he's going to change after 17 years. If he sees somebody in front of him one-on-one, he's going to attack.
My job is to, they have the dynamic roller with Zoo and great cutters and the guys that catch lobs, and my job is to be able to be the low man and find ways to, excuse my language, but fuck shit up.
Shout out Westbrook. We are fans of his in the arena. What's the biggest takeaway from Nuggets Clippers game 1?
It's going to be a dogfight, for sure.
I don't think the Nuggets going to win another game.
Swaggy, you don't believe that the Nuggets will win another game after their game 1 victory? No. In Clippers gentleman sweep incoming. What makes you feel that way?
I don't want to put that much pressure on Russ right now, but he's going to have to do that each game. I'm not saying that he can't, but I don't think the 3 is going to fall for him like that through this playoff series. But he could take over the game in other ways, but him hitting 3s and all that, right now, it was just one of those performances, and I felt like the Clippers let that slip. They tricked that game off.
Russ was only 2 for 6 from deep in the game.
2 for 8?
2 for 6 from 3. Why you say 2 for 8? 2 for 6, but did
2 for 6?
They did let this game slip though.
Yeah, they let it slip.
I ain't gonna. I
slippers.
Yeah, like I felt like when they was going into overtime, I knew for sure the Clippers was gonna win.
Yeah.
I think they gotta stop giving Kawhi. They gotta put Kawhi in that post.
Yeah.
Giving the ball there instead of letting them try to bring it up and do all that.
Vlad, you a Clippers fan, Lakers fan? You've been in LA a long time.
I'm a Lakers fan.
Okay.
I fuck with the Clippers though. Been to some games.
Okay.
Yeah.
You rocking with them this year?
Yeah, I mean they're doing great. So yeah, but I feel like Russell. I don't know. He always performs great, but when it comes down to it, does he really take it all the way? I don't get that impression. I think he does great, but then it's like a moment.
Mm-hmm. Good and bad moments, when you get the Westbrook experience. He had a chance to win the game in regulation, couldn't get a shot off. That was coming after he hit the big 3 to give the Nuggets a lead. But,
I mean, listen, 5 for 17,
That's what he shot?
Yeah, 5 for 17, it's he made up for it with the plays at the end, and that's what That's what Russell brings. He brings in heart. He knows where to position himself to score, to get offensive rebounds, to make, defensive plays like this to seal the game. That's the problem, that you can't have him off the court, right? Like, because there's things that he just naturally does. I remember that when he was at OKC and the 3 offensive rebounds they needed to hit a shot, and he was the one who got all 3 of them to give it to Carmelo Anthony for Anthony hit that 3. But those are the things that Russell actually does that you can't quantify in a stat sheet. So, sometimes you're gonna have to, live with the 5 for 17 to, for him to do what he did at the end of the game. Now that's their coach.
That is their interim head coach, David Allen.
I don't know what type of boat. I don't know
Black.
Yeah, the guy from Men in Black, remember when he shot his head?
Yeah.
It was like, in his hand.
Head grew back.
I would have went with a Timu Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber too.
Like, I don't know.
You got to look closer.
You can't have him on TV no more.
No, don't have him.
You don't need to interview him no
Mad
more. I'm sorry.
The Mad TV poster.
Yeah. It was.
Remember that Mad?
Mad TV.
It reminded me of a dub. Like, he was talking like he was being dubbed over, like he speaks another language, and it was that his mouth wasn't moving. Like, he had a whole bunch of Botox before the shit got. Like, he just went to the dentist and he can't open half of his mouth. Like, man, get this motherfucker.
Remember the cartoon Doug? That's what
He's like, Westbrook is doing that for the Westbrook. Man, this is what we're doing? This is, I'm Mike Brown, like, this is what you fired me for?
They're not listening to that.
Look, let him coach, let me do the interviews, because this is some.
Why y'all doing Rick Adelman sound like that?
I'm sorry, I'm going to start talking like this. I love it here.
But you still need a aggressive Westbrook, though.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I can't take away his aggressiveness.
So Nuggets were 22-14 this season with Westbrook as a starter, but just 1-5 in his last 6 starts. Obviously, he didn't start this game, but played 34 minutes, came up big in the fourth quarter and overtime. Seems like he has a chip on his shoulder, too, kind of with how he was treated by the Clippers. Remember Bones Highland telling the story about Russ feeling disrespected, said he was going to walk in with the 75th anniversary jacket to remind people who he was. But how important is Russell Westbrook to the success of this Nugget squad in this series?
Why didn't he get a ball to Joker for game, though?
Where's Murray?
Yeah. Ain't he the MVP, though?
What you saying, Swaggy?
I'm just saying. That was really for Kmart, because Kmart said
he's not here. At the end of the day, most of everybody's important on that team, it seems like right now.
Yeah.
They need everything they can possibly get out of everyone. So, yeah, good luck.
And
I mean, it doesn't look like it's the same team. They don't have championship swagger, right? You got, like it was Clippers game to lose, and they found a way to lose it. And they made plays at the end of the game, but this doesn't look like a championship team that's going out there like, this is what we're trying to do. Especially for somebody who's been 3-time MVP, trying to make his 4th. Finals MVP champion. This is where he should, as the best player in the game, be making his presence known and his team's presence known.
You should. Another player who should be making their presence known, Michael Porter Jr. Spent most of the second half on the bench, did not play in overtime, had just 3 points, 1 of 4 shooting in 26 minutes of action. So according to Nuggets beat reporter Brendan Vogt, after the game, Jokic was asked what he can do to help Porter stay engaged, and Jokic responded, if you're not going to be engaged right now, then you're not supposed to be playing this sport. Then said every game is different. MPJ's role may change as the series progresses, but should the Nuggets continue to roll with Westbrook over MPJ in crunch time, at least in this series?
I mean, yeah, if he only going to shoot 4 shots, 26 minutes.
Wait, why does that have to be over Westbrook? Why does it have to be over Westbrook?
What do you mean? Or,
like, you put a name on it. Why is it Westbrook?
well, Westbrook was in the game in crunch time. Westbrook did not start the game. Michael Porter Jr. did start the game. Michael Porter Jr. was the only Nugget starter.
But who's a small forward? Wasn't it Brown?
Christian Brown can rotate around. But in the starting lineup.
Brown.
I mean, well, Russ can guard the 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, Russ could play.
I don't like that you put it on a person.
I'm just saying Westbrook played 34 minutes in this game. All the other Nugget starters played at least 46 or 45 minutes, Christian Brown played 45. Jamal Murray played 48. Jokic played 46. Aaron Gordon played 46.
Kawhi got a box out, too.
It seemed like those minutes were diverted to Russ in this game. I'm not saying it has to be the case for the rest of the series, but.
I mean, he's 1 for 4, 26 minutes, so he ain't engaged. So if you're not going to be engaged, then you got to go sit down. Like, so I'll take Westbrook 5 for 17.
Yeah, he ain't there no more. Porter gone. Remember Porter last year in the playoffs against the Lakers? All them damn threes he was hitting this year.
Yeah.
He done.
And Gil, you said Nuggets look like they've lost that championship swagger before the season started. Back in the summer, MPJ basically said that this could be the last dance for this Nuggets core as we know it if they're not able to make a deep playoff run.
It looked like he gone, and I don't know who. I don't know who whooped Aaron Gordon ass. I don't know if that's fake. I don't know what's going on, but something going on though in Denver.
What happened to Aaron Gordon?
Was that real or fake?
Man, shut the hell up.
That was. I think it happened in practice though. Somebody said practice.
He got his ass whooped in practice?
No,
25 and 8 boards though.
Huh?
25 and 8 boards in the game.
Maybe an elbow or something to the
elbow to the right side of his mouth and then the left side of his eye. All right.
Wait.
Okay.
What happened to him?
Bop. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
I just heard it was practice.
Yeah.
So he got dropped in practice?
I don't know what's going on over there, but I can tell you this. That ain't championship like, all right. You got one man who got 4 shots and the other man getting his ass whooped by somebody in there. And I don't know if you look like you the strongest motherfucker out there.
Right.
It should have been everybody else with the black eye.
Man.
How you get the black eye?
Yeah, but we don't know.
Right?
Yeah, but we don't know. So it could.
Nah, we know.
Nah, nobody else looked like that.
Ain't nobody else sitting. Nobody else. It was one person. Like somebody gave his ass a quick 2-piece. Left,
He
right.
mixed though. He mixed though.
Oh, so they whooped the white side of him. Got it. That sounds right. So he should be suing.
Like, assuming.
No, but that was real.
I don't think it was fake.
He did an interview. I'm gonna just say hard foul in practice or something.
Yeah.
Somebody
said allergies. Black eye allergy with a puffy lip. Just this part of the lip.
Oh, could
like
be.
he got banked up. Like
Could be allergies. Yeah, could. I mean,
Yo, do you know something we don't know? Obviously, you were.
no, I'm just saying.
But you were very plugged into the NBA
I can
community.
literally look at evidence and say, all right, if it was an elbow, one spot. One elbow, 2 spots. Different sides of the face, ass whooping. Oh, we've seen enough.
That was one too.
That was a two-hitter quitter.
Bing. Okay, wasn't expecting that one.
Want some of this too, old man?
No.
But in all seriousness, MPJ, only 4 shots in the game, 3 points.
But he always been saying something all year, like he don't want to be there no more, man. He's done. But do this help his chances of getting traded, performing like this? Like you think somebody else will pick him up with all? Don't he got like a max contract almost?
Yeah, man, it's NBA, man. Everybody gonna pick up everybody.
yeah, I'm about to say he is NBA champion.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody stuck.
6'9", 6'10".
Got 2 years left on his
Still
deal.
shooting 3.
So he's making $38 million next year, $41 million in 26, 27.
Damn. Mm-hmm. No, but if you Jokic, what you doing?
So you trading him from KD? They got the same money, shit.
I don't even think it's about him. What Jokic finna do? Because if this what you finna be left with,
That's what I'm saying. You gonna get somebody crazy.
KD and Jokic, that'd be a.
You trade Gordon and Murray, shit. I'm not Murray, but MPJ. Him and Gordon?
For who?
For KD, would you do that?
If I'm who?
Denver.
Denver would do anything. What do you mean if you're Denver? Of course you would trade for KD if you're Denver.
What's a
For them
better
two?
trade than them two?
If you're Denver,
Phoenix too. He don't want to be there.
yeah, I don't give a fuck about them.
Yeah, man, they go. They get invited to dinners and shit. And they ass whipped.
Coach fired. That's a lot.
Coach fired. Come on.
And GM. That's a lot going
Coach
on.
and GM fired 3 games left in the regular season.
It's weird over there.
Yeah, it's different.
That's what I said, man. That's cool. Let them go through the trouble they were going through. That ain't got nothing to do with.
Benefits other teams in the Western Conference that have had previous issues with this Nugget squad. But let's talk about Clippers side. Clippers, 20 turnovers in the game. Kawhi Leonard, 7 of those 20 turnovers, tied a playoff career high for Kawhi's most since being with the Clippers. Can the Clippers take a lot away from this loss, knowing that if they just, shore up their ball security, it's a much different ball game?
I think Clippers is in a good position. I think they ran a zone a little bit. They just got to figure out how to keep Zubac on Jokic as much as possible. And then try to utilize Ben Simmons as a 5-man where he can guard Jokic and then, play point to facilitate. Other than that, Powell gets his stuff going. They have the better full team, a team that actually, is together. They're trying to win something. So, Clippers still have the advantage even though they lost one.
Yeah, Norm Powell, 12 points in the game. Zubac, which I didn't mention, 21 and 13. Damn. Been playing at a very high level, balanced scoring across their starting unit. But what adjustments you think they need to make, if any, heading into game 2?
None. There's no extreme measures that they need to do.
Probably get Powell going more. At times, I felt like when James didn't have it going that third quarter that much, it was time to start running something for Powell to get him some open looks and stuff. Because James was stuck on 20 for a while. They started off hot. I think that third quarter was their slippage right there. That's when I felt like the Denver started coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think it's 13-2 run, obviously, in the third.
And box out, shit. You see Westbrook playing like that? I know it's hard to do, but I think you got to stop Westbrook from being a crackhead out there, man. You got to slow him down.
So strategy game 2, stop Westbrook from being a crackhead.
Somehow get offensive rebounds, play the passing lane, just do something because his energy could take over a game more than it's scoring right now. So
Nuggets, utilize them kind of that free safety position defensively, letting them roam around and F stuff up, as he said. Mr. B, how about yourself? What adjustments do you think Clippers need to make?
I don't think none. I just think they just lost that game at the end. It's their series to win for sure. But just the late game adjustments and, like I said, just the late game, the late game adjustments. That's about it. But I got the Clippers winning the second game, and I think the Clippers will win this series
for sure. Why do you think Clippers taking this series?
I don't know, man. I feel like I've never seen so many missed free throws. This one Clippers game I went to with Harden, it was just like miss after miss after miss after miss. It was like the guy's a superstar caliber player, but I feel in crunch time, he just never really comes through. That's been my impression.
And why did Harden have that? It seems like that's been a criticism of the game. You talk about this game, 32, 11 assists, 6 rebounds, was 6 for 6 from the line in this game. Big shots, fourth quarter and overtime to keep the Clippers in this thing, kind of took the game over. Been to the playoffs every season in his professional basketball career, but still kind of gets that knock and that criticism.
Yeah, I don't feel like Harden has that killer instinct that's required to really go all the way with it.
Good, do you agree or disagree with that?
I don't even know if he ever had a team that was even in position to win championship.
The OKC team?
When he was a 6-man? No. He was a 6-man. He didn't have they wasn't ready to win a championship. They got there, but they wasn't ready to win.
But was his play good enough for them to?
No.
he didn't show up. I mean, he didn't really show up in that final. So how would we?
The Chris Paul Houston.
Yeah, Chris Paul, there was a championship caliber team. He had the one Houston team that would have been good if they kept the team together. That's when they had like Anderson at the 4. They kind of had Trevor Ariza. They had a big team. If that team would have stayed together, then yeah. But
you don't think that 2018 Rocket squad?
Yeah, they would have killed the Cleveland.
No, they wouldn't.
Shit.
Come on, with CP?
Yeah.
3-2 lead on the Warriors.
3-2 lead. Oh yeah, they
CP3
came back. He had the
Everybody, whoever won that game was winning the championship for sure.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. Yeah, he had a better. Yeah, that team was good.
That team was good.
If CP don't sit down with the hamstring,
yeah, blew that for that money, boy. He said, "Fuck this championship. I'm gonna get this money."
So, like Clippers in the series this side too.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, game 2 tonight, so we'll see how it goes down. If they can even it up, try and steal home court before they come back to LA into a dome and get that home court advantage in Inglewood. But we'd like to give a shout out to MeUndies for sponsoring today's podcast. There are a few things worse than constantly having to adjust yourself. Head over to MeUndies.com and check out the Ball Caddy. It has a built-in pouch to keep everything where it should be and features their signature ultra modal fabric that feels 3 times softer than cotton. The guys on the couch have all received the product. Gil, how is the Ball Caddy working out for you from the fine folks at MeUndies?
Like Tiger Woods, baby. The caddy needs balls. So I'm serious.
The caddy needs balls like Tiger Woods.
I'm like Tiger Woods, man.
Like Tiger Woods. I got a ball right now.
Tiger Woo. Mm-hmm. I like him. Very, very fun product. So the waistband and seam-free design keeps everything in place, so there's no roll, and the pouch lifts and supports, so there's less adjusting. Find pouch pack comfort in everyday styles at MeUndies.com. Support the show by using Arena at checkout for 20% off your first order. All right, well, let's head over to the Eastern Conference. Pistons reached the postseason for the first time since 2019 after a historic turnaround which saw them triple their win total from last season. Knicks held on to the 3rd spot despite missing Jalen Brunson for a month late in the season with an ankle injury. New York was 1-3 with Brunson in the lineup to end the regular season, including a loss to the Pistons on April 10th, with Detroit winning the regular season series 3-1. But this is the playoffs, and with the Pistons up by 8 early in the 4th quarter of Game 1, the Knicks started to click and had the Garden rocking. Let's check out the highlights from the game. Like I said, up 8, a little over 9 minutes to go. Knicks went on a 21-0 run in the 4th to take control of the game. Campaign and Jalen Brunson led the charge, scoring the first 17 points of that run, with Payne getting an and one, then knocking down 2 huge threes. He had 11 of his 14 points in the quarter. So Brunson led the Knicks with 34 points and 8 assists. Struggled in the first half, which is 4 of 15 from the field. Got it back together in the second half. But Brunson did have Knicks fans nervous after tweaking his ankle in the 3rd quarter. It was the same ankle that forced him to miss 15 games from early March to early April. He headed to the locker room after the quarter ended, but reemerged in the 4th quarter wearing new shoes and got back to work. Cat balled in his first playoff game with New York, dropping 23 points on 10 of 14 shooting, along with 11 rebounds, 5 dimes, and 4 steals. OG Anunoby had 23, 7 boards, and 5 steals, and Josh Hart added 13, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. On the Pistons side, Cade Cunningham, solid in his first playoff game. He had 21 points, 12 dimes, and 6 rebounds. Also had 6 turnovers, though. Tobias Harris led the Pistons in scoring with 25 points on 8 of 13 shooting, knocking down 4 of his 5 3-pointers. Tim Hardaway Jr. added 19. Malik Beasley had 20 off the bench. He was 6 of 12 in 3-point attempts. So Pistons had 21 turnovers in the game, including 8 in the 4th quarter to help seal their fate. So after the game, Tibbs was asked about Brunson leaving the game before the 4th quarter and had this exchange with the reporter.
When Jalen went to the locker room and came back, was like, new man, did he like change his sneakers or something? Do you know why he went back there? I mean, he came back, he was a totally different guy.
I think he grabbed his cape.
So how important was this win for the Knicks to set the tone in the series, Mr. B?
It's a great win for the Knicks. Bad loss for Detroit.
Yeah.
It just showed their kind of like immaturity for a playoff run right now. I think if they would have won this game right here, it would have been a statement game, but they lost. And you just see a lot of their mistakes down the stretch that's going to probably hurt them more as the series go on. But they're going to keep fighting for sure. But I just don't think. I don't know. Game one was just a bad loss for me. Yeah. So I don't know yet. I don't know if they're ready.
And obviously, you three have all been game one of the playoffs. How different is game one from the rest of the series just in terms of setting the tone and, you know?
Game one is usually, for a road team, it's the easiest one to steal, right? If you're the road team, like you're going into it trying to steal game one because the pressure is actually on the home team to secure the win. So game one is usually the easiest. You know, Detroit is young, right? You know, we know Cade is there to play, but, you know, your second best player, which led the team in scoring, Tobias Harris. You know, if Tobias Harris is your leading scorer and your best player, I mean, let's just be honest, we know who he is. He's a great third option, so the fact that he's the number one option or the number two option, it means you're lacking something in your roster. So it showed. Right, you know, Nick scored 40 points in the fourth quarter, right? And you're supposed to be this monster defensive team.
Yeah.
You know, that shit don't work in the playoffs, right? You know, I've said it, like, what you get away with during the season is cool because it's day-to-day, refs change, they don't really pay attention, no one is scouting like that. In the playoffs, everything is being scouted. So if, you know, they don't like how you're playing, they're gonna make you adjust, and if you've never adjusted during the regular season, you'll be hurt in a game like this. So to show that the Knicks can score 40 points in the fourth quarter on a team that is known for brutal basketball, it lets you know what happens. Yeah, it's going to be a low-scoring game when they get to Detroit because, you know, now it's their home and, you know, it's their rules. But
Bad Boys 2.0, as that squad's been called.
You know, so, you know, it just shows, you know, they're young and it just, you know, it's going to take them some time. And, you know, they're going to fight. You know.
Yeah, for sure. They're going to keep fighting.
They're going to keep fighting.
You know. So we talked about this last week on the show leading up to this playoff matchup, and it was pointed out that Tobias Harris, not an effective, like you said, one or number two option for a team that wants to be successful. Had 25 in this game. Saw the result, but Pistons melting down, 8 turnovers in the fourth quarter. Had an 8-point lead, feeling good in the Garden. But then it just switched, right? Whole momentum just went away, and they didn't have an answer for that Knicks 21-0 run.
Cat, you know, Cat brought out the new celebration. You think the kids, what'd he do? Yeah. You didn't see what he did? Cat did some shit, boy. I'm telling you, it's a new thing. He, like, popped out the curtains, like, you know.
Came out the...
Like, he popped out the closet. Yeah, he just...
Popped in the officer. So
unnecessary.
No, not like that, no.
I thought it was a 3.
It was a 3, right? And he said,
took his shades off?
Yeah, he took his shades off like he was about to, like, you know, Cat, I love to see that shit. He hit motherfucker with this, did this. Cat was balling, bro.
Shout out Cameron Payne, too.
Yeah,
Cameron Payne, corner.
Cameron Payne came in there.
11 of his 14 in the fourth quarter. Was instrumental in that 21-0 run.
Big shots, step backs.
That's big too for this series. This series is gonna be, it's gonna be really grinded out. But
playoff,
you got guys like Campaign coming there and just Detroit in trouble.
Pistons are in trouble.
It could be, like that.
Yeah.
Pistons.
No, I mean they don't have I mean they're in trouble, but even though it's game one, it's just the fact that if your second best player is your second best player is a third option on a good team, fourth option on a championship team, and the fact that he's the second option on your team, it just kind of lets you know how far off you are. Right? If right now, if we said, all right, Tobias, you go to New York, what option are you? 5, 6? Right? You're the 5th or 6th option. So that lets you know that if you're this important to this team, your team as a whole is not there. You know, you're missing your second best player, you know, Ivy. So, you know.
Oh, he didn't play that game.
No, he's so you're, you know.
Yeah. Pistons also issue with Beef Stew, who left the game in the fourth quarter at the start of the Knicks' big run. But according to Ian Begley from SNY, had to get imaging on his leg after game one. He said he was laboring for most of game one. And obviously, this injury is going to have an impact when you talk about the Pistons, their physicality, trying to rough up Cat, punk him, if you will. But
yeah, working in the playoffs, man. I don't know why. This ain't the 80s, man. Listen, okay.
You go the 80s.
But the Knicks play like that too, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You can punk everybody.
Yeah, but they play
arena, but you
basketball
can't
too,
punk Knicks. That's how they play. They play grinding out basketball. The arena, that's who they want. They want blue collar. So you got two blue collar teams and franchises playing against each other. But that punk it basketball, that was Detroit Pistons in the 80s. It was just them against Chicago. It wasn't like they did that against everybody, and everybody in the NBA was playing that way. It's only one team that played that way against one person, right? So, this idea of this is these bad boys and this is what we do, we body slam people, that shit was old. It got pushed out of the NBA. So, you go into the playoffs thinking that's what you're going to stand on. Man, they're just going to blow that whistle. And then if you can't stand on just natural talent, besides trying to bully people, you're gonna get 40 put on you.
outscore 40-21 in the fourth quarter, like I mentioned.
40 in the fourth, 40 in the first. Okay, I get it. You're nervous. 40 in the fourth means fuck.
But you gotta give credit to Josh Hart too. He plays like similar to Westbrook too.
Yeah, no.
Right now. Out there scrapping, getting every loose ball, rebounding at his size, 6'4", 6'5" at best. Yeah. I think, but the Knicks always play like this. I like the fact that Brunson always step up. Like, people forget, playoff Brunson to me is a thing too.
Yeah.
I feel like he's
King of New York.
Yeah.
Mr. B, Pistons in trouble.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people come into this series like the matchup for the Pistons, thought that they could potentially come in, pull the upset, but
yeah, it just shows what they're missing. Like, I think that's the good thing about the playoffs. It shows what you really need, especially for young teams like that. So, like, the Pistons know, like, going forward to next year, like, they know what they need. They need an actual number 2 option, or they need to, they need a vet.
So, Mr. B, producers would like to know, mainly producer Steve, longtime Knicks fan, if you would like to change your series prediction and apologize to Knicks fans.
No. I still got the Pistons in 7. It's just gonna have to be grinded out, like a loose ball or something go off somebody's leg.
And for a young team like that, how kind of demoralizing is a win like that? You're up 8 in the Garden, got the momentum, looking to steal game 1. Is there a hangover effect? Does that trickle over?
It might though, because they're young. They don't know how to.
Brother, you're on the road. You don't supposed to win, but your job is to try to get one in the Garden, and the easiest one to get is the first one. If you don't get it, you try to get the second one, and then from there is you defend your home crowd, your home court. That's playoff basketball, man. Like, so, sitting there trying to put pressure on a team that went in there and lost. Y'all lost. It's okay. Try to fight for the next one, and then. You got your home court, and that's what you defend. And then remember, it will be 2-2 after you defend it. And then you got to try to steal game 5. Yeah. If you don't, you got game 6 at your home, 3-3. And then game 7, the pressure technically is really on the home team. So you kind of get it a 51-49, but, it's never usually like that.
And how does going down 0-2 versus 1-1 for that road team? Much of a difference. Obviously, game 3 becomes a lot more important.
1-1 is ideal if you're a road team, but that is a rare that you can have. But once a road team steals it, then they become the home team, right? Then you got then you thinking, okay, 1-1, I'm gonna win 2 at home, and then now I'm up 3-1. That's your idea, So for the most part, going down 0-2, then you go home. Make it 2-2. That's the series. That's why it is the way it is. 2-2, 1-1-1.
So when you look at the Pistons, though, obviously some positives that they can take away from this up 8.
There's nothing. Just play basketball.
Could have won and got smacked.
Could have won a
game.
game.
But
I think you just
had a lead, 8 turnovers in the fourth quarter. Don't expect to do that again. So I just wonder what positives can the Pistons take away from this game as they try to steal game 2, or just flush it and say.
flush it and keep going come back with the same energy again.
Yeah, I think they learned from that, especially their first time. They ain't been in the playoffs, situations like that. I think that's probably good for them, because they could see that happening again in the fourth quarter. I think, I can't think the star, what's his name?
Kate.
Yeah, Kate. Could see them situations because he's going to have the ball in his hand majority. Could feel the energy shifting, the momentum shifting. And that's when it's time he's supposed to take over. He's supposed to have or at least try, get shots up.
Yeah, first playoff game.
Yeah, first playoff game, so.
8 of 21.
I'd rather you get a shot up than a turnover.
Well, that playoff game was better than the Milwaukee's, I'll tell you that much.
And y'all got vets, too. That's all.
So we got smacked.
You did get smacked. Hopefully, Dame on the way. Obviously, him and Halliburton.
It don't matter.
Change some words.
Man.
No difference?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's head back to the West. We got to talk about it. Lakers and Wolves met Saturday night in the primetime game. So after securing the third seed, the Lakers hosted their first game win at home since 2012. They were also a 1 seed in the bubble, but that was obviously at Disney World. So first game win at home since 2012, and the Wolves disrespectfully pulled up and said, F your couch. Let's take a look at the highlights. So Lakers started hot, thanks in large part to Luka, who scored 16 of his 37 points in the first quarter. It was looking good in the beginning. I ain't going front. We was feeling good. But the Wolves had it going from long range. Minnesota knocked down 21 of their 42 three-point attempts, with a good portion of those coming from wide open looks. Like I said, Lakers were up. The Wolves came storming back. Ant-Man doing his thing. And Nas Reed, huge off the bench with buckets like that. LeBron showed he might be 40, but he still got a little left in the tank. One of his textbook blocks. But like I said, Wolves 21 of 42 from three. So Dante DiVincenzo put an exclamation point on the first half, knocking down a three to give the Wolves an 11-point lead heading into the break. Wolves picked up right where they left off in the second half, going on an 11-0 run to start the third quarter, led by as much as 27 points in the game. Unfortunate. I'm thankful we didn't go, though. Shout out to Underdog. They had the Lakers sweep for us. We knew better. Feel-out game, as Bron fans like to say. So Lakers went on a 10-0 run late in the third quarter to close the gap with Luka hitting half-court buzzer beater to end the third to try to give the purple and gold some momentum. Lakers cut the deficit to 12 points in the fourth quarter, but that's the closest they would get. Ant-Man had an off-shooting night, but still finished with 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. McDaniels had the hot hand, leading the Wolves with 25 points and 9 boards. He was 11 for 13 from the field, 3 for 3 from deep. Like I said, Nas Reed, 23 and 5 off the bench. He was 6 and 9 from 3. Julius Randle had 16, 5 and 5, but also had 7 turnovers. So Luka led the Lakers 37 points. He was 12 for 22, 5 for 10 from deep. He had 8 rebounds, but only 1 assist in 40 minutes. LeBron had 19, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. He was 8 for 18 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. Austin Reeves, 16 on 5 of 13 shooting. So the Lakers starters scored 82 of their 95 points, bench chipping in just 13 points, 5 of those coming from Dalton Connect in garbage time. So go back to a moment in the game that may have some lasting impact. Early in the fourth quarter, we got this. Ant-Man hit a 3 and Luka's group proceeded to hit him with the Spider-Man Celly, which Luka didn't appreciate. You can see the stare down. See Luka's face.
I like it.
I like the energy.
I like it.
Before the series started, J.J. Redick said he was concerned with the Wolves on both sides of the ball. Into the playoffs, top 10 on offense and defense in the league. Game 1 proved his concerns were legit. So what did the Wolves expose about this Lakers squad in Game 1?
Y'all in trouble.
Yeah.
Lakers in trouble.
They're going 7. Where you going?
I'm going to get something to drink real quick.
Gil has opted to remove himself.
You don't want to talk about this ass whooping?
I'm just
from this discussion.
God,
going to retrieve a beverage.
No, Lakers in.
Okay.
It's not gonna be what y'all think.
I said it's going 7. I'm scared of them.
Lakers in 5, nonetheless.
Hey, young.
In order to win in 5, you have to lose a game.
Yeah, well, it ain't gonna be in 5.
They got Nas Reed and Julius Randle.
And
That's
Anthony
gonna
Edwards.
wear down LeBron. LeBron 40. You gotta keep up with these.
LeBron got to step up. What LeBron have? 19, 5, and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't gonna do it.
4 assists between Luka and LeBron. Gil, having a beverage.
No, come back. Yeah, come back and sit down. Talk
We gotta
about your
talk the
team.
good and the bad,
Come on,
sir.
man.
Okay.
Wait, y'all still talking about the Lakers?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what happened.
5.
We have to use these
Yeah, you
moments
did
as
say it
You said
motivation.
in 5.
Yeah, you did say it 5.
You said in 5. I said 7. I'm scared of these motherfuckers.
You said 6.
I said 7.
You said 6.
Rewind the tape. I said 7.
6.
Gil, I said 7.
But I don't know why we even talk about this. Wasn't this game like Saturday?
You said, why are you? I'm not even fucking with you. You ain't a real Laker fan.
It was pre-Easter.
Yeah, so why would you say 6?
I said 7.
Well,
Look,
prior to Easter, he has risen.
I told you they can.
Yeah, what happened?
man, so Vlad, what you got going on, man?
Why you don't like
This is Laker talk, man. What you got going on, man? This is crazy, man.
Got here and do Spider-Man to us and shit. Nigga did this to us.
He didn't do that to us.
I was just gonna say, we got off the section, but I feel like if Detroit loses, I can only blame one person, Larsa Pippen. Somehow, her effect on Malik is somehow gonna get him to lose. That's what I think. Everything that happens, I'm gonna blame Larsa Pippen for it.
The old cuckoo.
I forgot that was the thing. Yes.
Am I right though? You and I talked about this on my show.
Yes,
You know,
are. Yes.
She's
I
ruined
forgot.
two great names so far in the NBA. I'm saying. The web is grown.
The web is grown.
The web is what?
He done put the web on it. Detroit can't win.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because everywhere he's went, he's done ruined it. Because he went over Detroit. Didn't he come over there?
To the
Milwaukee?
Bucks, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Milwaukee.
And that's when
Yeah,
Giannis
Milwaukee.
got hurt a couple times, and then y'all had to get rid of him. Now his juju's over there. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he played in Milwaukee.
Yeah. Right after that, and then that's.
Now he's in Detroit.
Hey, man, you just seen the movie. You
Had to stand with the Lakers as well.
You welcome the devil into your house. Shit.
Did you notice, by the way,
No sinner.
You see.
did y'all notice that LeBron responded to Kevin Gates?
Did see LeBron's response?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah.
Kevin said something to the effect of, I would rather be me than LeBron because I see the way LeBron's wife looks at him is different than the way like some of these other wives
Yeah, that white girl, look at him.
at their husbands. And he like responded to Kevin Gates right now. I just feel like, what are you doing right now? Like that's
You responded to him?
This is not what you responded to a
Subtle
rapper.
response
Yeah,
on Instagram. Didn't respond to him directly.
but
like
you
that.
know what that was.
Oh.
I just feel like right now your focus should not be Kevin Gates.
I mean, our
Kevin
focus,
Gates needed, right?
our focus ain't the Wolves either, but.
I don't think the focus is that. I just think it's just weird the fact that people keep bringing up like LeBron's son, LeBron's wife. Like, it's kind of like an obsession to me. Like
He's LeBron. He's an icon.
Right. I mean, no, that's fine. So talk about LeBron. Like what his wife, who's sitting up here talking about
How
the way
his
he
wife
look at his
look
wife.
at it.
Like look at what?
Why you look
like
at
how
his
are we
wife?
that invested?
LeBron
All we
responded-
know is Savannah be at the games,
Right.
And Savannah be everywhere her husband be. So I'm
Biggest
trying to,
cheerleader.
Sure, the marriage is great.
I mean, she's the biggest cheerleader.
so I'm trying
Always
to figure
proud.
out how is she looking and all this. Like, so what? Y'all gonna go at the daughter next? What the younger son is like?
Nah.
Just talk to LeBron.
So Bron posted a photo of him and Savannah yesterday, Easter Sunday, with the caption, "Kings don't concern themselves with the opinions of peasants.
Right.
Where to next, Queen? Let's get
Right.
it."
So he's referring to Kevin Gates as a peasant.
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn, with the peasant.
Some have pointed out,
Peasant,
Bron used to
loser.
go 0 dark 30 mode for postseason,
Exactly.
get off social media.
What type of
Exactly.
words hurt?
He's 40 now, though.
Peasant is a word.
We see like
that
a whole
hurt.
different LeBron now. I mean,
Yeah, this is the end. This is the end of
like,
LeBron.
we talked
He
about
getting
this when
in.
you were on my show last time. This is a whole different LeBron. The fact that he's responding to Stephen A. Smith and doing interviews about it and so forth. This is not the LeBron that we're used to.
I'm tired.
He's
I'm
40.
tired.
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
He's had
I've
enough.
been quiet for 20
Yeah,
years.
I'm tired.
Motherfuckers gonna learn today.
But I like this LeBron.
I love
I like the LeBron.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at it, but
So let's get back to
Whoa! I did a great ass pivot off the Lakers, and now you want to get back to it.
Because he needs
what's wrong?
He needs
with
to
you?
treat Nas Reed like a peasant.
Like, why are we going back to talk about Lakers, man?
We can't always just talk about.
Then we need to ask you a question. Why your man didn't show up? How about that? Why your man Luka showed up?
You're 22.
Why your man didn't show up? Huh?
You're 22.
What was he doing?
You're 22, 40 years old.
Oh, he's 40 now, huh?
Austin Reeves was shooting.
Came through
He was 40 now, huh?
with the key defensive block early in the game to help give the Lakers some momentum.
Defensive blocker.
Because Gil Luka showed up.
You know he got to
Yeah, he showed up. He realized who was. How many assists did we have? One?
1 assist for Luka, 3 assists for Brown, 4
One
assists
assist
between the
because
two.
of who we passing it to. Y'all ain't here to play today.
Oh, wait, y'all wasn't passing?
Huh?
Y'all wasn't passing?
Nah, we realized they wasn't ready.
Nah, Austin Reeves was shooting some crazy.
Yeah, they wasn't ready. You know, my Luka was out there doing his thing. He showed up.
It's gonna
Right, since you want to talk about it.
Listen.
So, in all seriousness, what did the Wolves expose about this Lakers squad in Game 1? Like I said, 21 to 42 from 3. Don't expect them to shoot at that high of a level, but also, like I said, a lot of those shots wide open. Nas Reed out there clowning. Ant-Man hitting Slovenian Jesus with the Spider-Man celly.
We don't need to play.
And they proven that, man, they can upset this Laker team.
It ain't an upset.
In one game, yeah.
It ain't an upset.
Yeah, because the Lakers is higher, right?
I feel like they should be in the third seed, tell you the truth.
Yeah, they should.
They are a better team right now. They tougher than us. Younger. LeBron can't guard fucking Julius Randle and Nas Reed.
Julius Randle can't guard Julius Randle.
Well, he shows it.
Okay.
I don't care. He's just out there running into LeBron. You think LeBron want to get hit all fucking day? He 40. Can you imagine getting hit by Julius Randle and waking up the next morning? This shit ain't cool.
Shit ain't cool.
Yo, Lakers might be in trouble.
Why is everybody in trouble on Game 1? How many Game 1s has LeBron lost and then won the series?
Oh, so good.
We just talking about energy.
Christ, it's a
glad you asked.
It's a series. It's 7 games, bro.
Glad you asked, Gil. Here's
ass whooping is an ass whooping. Okay, they shot 50%. When was the last time they shot? Well, you see where they were shooting from? If it was their birthday, cool, we get it. But it's a series. It's not one game. Why does everyone get so excited about a Game 1? So when Game 2 happened and we win by 20, do I supposed to come in here and celebrate like the series over with? No.
Well, I mean, it would be nice.
No, it's 1-1. It's still their advantage.
We win.
We win 1-1. It's still their advantage. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to brag about.
So
brag about when the series is over. Then we talk about who's in series 2.
So as a reminder, predictions for this series, Gil, you said Lakers in 5. Swag.
Lakers in 5.
You said Lakers in 7.
Who said Lakers in 7?
Me. I told you.
Swaggy.
Why you didn't say 6? To make me right.
I'm merely a host, but an honest man as much as I can be.
I said Lakers, though. I said Lakers, though.
Swoop said Lakers in 6. Mr. B.
Oh,
you said Lakers in 5 as well, though.
Yeah, I changed that.
Still it.
Oh, so you're altering and updating your prediction?
I'm going to go with 7.
You think Lakers still win in this series?
Yeah, Lakers in 7, though.
7?
7. See,
I'm Lakers in 5. 5.
4 in a row?
Nah.
Just like they did OKC in the championship. Forgot they lost that one too? And everybody went on crazy. 4-0. Gentleman sweep. Sweep! Sweep! It's a gentleman sweep. Right? You win the first one, let everybody get excited. Come on, y'all know the narrative. Let everybody, LeBron, and then everybody get to talk and clap, and then sweep!
He thought the same thing last year when they played Ant-Man.
Hey, brother, look at that.
We lose
It's all Lakers right here, man.
I'm just saying, we lose this.
It's Lakers here, man.
Just pack this
7 games. You said 7, right?
Yeah.
So all that matters is get out of the series. So why the fuck do you care?
Yeah, but
get out of the series.
Yeah, but the Lakers go down 2-0.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If they go down 2-0, are you still saying Lakers in 7?
No.
I don't know, man.
So then you was wrong.
Shit.
I still got Lakers in 5, no matter what.
Gil
So they lose, I can't be in 5.
First of all, I didn't even watch this game. We didn't even do it on playback. I had better shit to do.
Gil, you did have better shit.
What you had to do, man?
We did have the underdog sweep.
You knew?
Huh?
You knew what's going to happen.
Y'all see, I didn't go on playback. We didn't do playback.
We did not.
We didn't do playback.
And you know Gil likes to work.
Yeah.
We also had the underdog sweep.
We had the underdog sweep.
Gil said nay.
I was mean with important people. Classier people.
Classier than the Lakers?
Technically, yeah. Yes, he was. Yes, trying to upgrade, you feel me? I don't want to be on the couch with you all the time.
Wow.
The game is the game.
But you know
what? My price going
when
up.
I blow up, what's the When I blow up,
We blow up.
You know,
fuck that. I gotta walk a mile to get here. My price going up.
Because I had to. The price of the brick is going up.
Okay, cool.
The price of the brick is going up. You know?
So naturally, after the game, a lot of fans talking shit, as they tend to do in these.
I'd be lying. We was doing battle mode, right?
Yeah.
If you see my mood in battle mode, I was kind of sad because I thought that the meeting that I had, got dropped because, the man came in town for the first time in 4 months.
The man.
Then he was like, yo, can you meet me at, noon? And I'm like, damn, I got battle mode. And I know if I didn't show up to the meeting, it was over, And then he was like, I'm going to be here till about 1:15. Took off. And then I went, met with him. Now we've got possibly 3 shows.
The man in the car.
First take, that's easy, that's done.
Josiah's arena.
And we're going to have possibly this show going to get syndicated. And then another show. Hey, yeah, man. Yeah.
You looking at me like, bitch, I'm getting kicked off or something.
No, I said syndicate, like we're going to have another version going to the
But why you look at me like I'm not gonna be on it?
Because Around the Horn got canceled, and there's only one place they want to come.
Around this horn. Around this horn.
Whoa. Hey, I said we go to Disney Plus, and you over here talking about shots. We don't do that on the big screen.
We don't. Oh, my bad. No, you said
we have
Listen, so I didn't really watch the game, and the fact that I didn't watch it, they didn't get my blessings.
So you did not bless? Okay.
I didn't get to bless the Laker court.
But you will watch the next 4 games.
You know what I mean? I didn't get to bless the Laker court.
Right?
But I guarantee you, Tuesday.
We need that energy.
Tuesday is on.
What kind of energy you coming with?
Huh?
What kind of energy you coming with Tuesday?
The raft of Luka.
You better wear the whole fucking uniform.
Well, I got the whole uniform. I just got a new one that just came in too. I got a new one that just came in too.
With the
I'm gonna have a ring. I'm gonna have all the Kobe rings on.
Man.
All 5.
With the hookah and beer accessories. So we asked the chat.
Adidas Kobe's too. Shit.
Yeah, because I was wearing the Ant-Man's, and that kind of fucked everything up.
So you didn't say that, Gil.
He's Adidas. It shit look. It was the purple.
It is a very stylish
purple joint. So I
very
didn't realize I was kind of putting wrong juju in that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
So you're the reason that the Lakers.
I might show up to the game. We got a suite.
We do have the Underdog suite available at our disposal. Thank you to the kind folks at Underdog. Download the app, use promo code Gil, get $1,000 in bonus.
Only Lakers involved.
Plus a special
Only Laker
package.
fans involved. I'm not doing
I can go Tuesday?
I'm not doing that negative shit.
I can go Tuesday? I said Lakers in 7. I got money in this. I got money invested in this shit too.
So we asked the chat, are the Lakers in trouble?
I was a van driver.
61% of the chat said yes. 39% of the chat said no.
Damn.
Lakers in 5.
39%.
Good job, 39%.
Yeah.
No, Lakers in 5. So here's an interesting tidbit.
Shannon to fuck the world up. That's what Ant-Man, Tan-Man, Lakers in 5. It's gonna be Ant-Man,
Hey, no, that's what.
Nas Reed, Jeff Teague, Lakers in 5.
So here's an interesting tidbit from the game. So LeBron's teams performed significantly better in the playoffs after winning Game 1. So here's the graphic. So LeBron's teams are 29-2, including 20 straight playoff series wins after winning Game 1, but just 12-11 after losing Game 1. That includes 3 straight series losses in that scenario. I believe the Nuggets 24-23, and then the Suns in 21. And if I'm not mistaken, Gil, you know we can hear you. You have a mic. You're wearing a wire.
I want my money.
You read lips. So, Gil, you said obviously Bron still has a winning record in playoff series after losing Game 1. But I got some unfortunate news to share with the arena. So after Bron's lackluster Game 1 performance, and as a LeBron fan, I'll admit that did not play to his standards, but still have faith. The jokes were flying on social media, including this one that hits a little too close to home. Let's take a look.
Wow, cuz.
What that got to do with me?
What? You look
Luka and Bron.
Oh, you look 55 right there.
Huh?
Oh, you look like you transferred from
Yeah,
the
look.
80s.
Man, that's that.
1980s into the future, like that.
Yeah, man. That's how we look, man.
No, don't say we, motherfucker.
So this is
That's crazy.
You gonna bring the beard back?
the correlation.
That coming back and stuff?
I'll never look like
Luka
I
and
didn't realize
Bronny.
how old I look until I look at pictures like, damn.
Like, bro, you look like
Nah, bro.
That's how the 80s and the 70s look.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
Looking like,
You was.
looking like they was
22
56.
bald,
half bald.
3
everything.
jobs. But yeah, they're
only
basically
27
saying that Luka and Bron look like John Wall and you in that particular photo case. You don't understand meme culture. But in all seriousness, do you expect Bron to bounce back in game 2?
For sure.
He's going to have a chip on his shoulder.
For sure.
You know, okay, so in real talk, what Wolves did was let us play one-on-one. Right? And, you know, the fact that Luka's gift is vision, right? I mean, he has a knack for scoring. He can score the shit out of the ball. But, you know, the passes he finds people in is like everyone stayed home. And we're going to say, all right, you're just going to beat us by yourself. And, you know, we're not going to let you get Finney involved. We're not going to let you get all, you know, these role players.
Gabe
involved
Vincent,
in the
Dorian
game.
Finney-Smith.
We're not going to let you get these open shots. So you just play and you try to beat us by yourself. And I think that's why Bron decided to try to be the facilitator and get these guys to the ball. But, you know, the fact that some of these guys can't create on their own and they need other people to create kind of like hurt us game 1. But, you know, that's what a playoff series is about. It's about adjusting. I expect Bron to go for 35 to 40, right? And see if he can be so dominant it forces them to double. That's, you know, and then once you double now, Finney and them can get these open shots.
Yeah.
Right? You know, this is a chess match.
You call him by his real name.
They did something that we didn't expect. I didn't expect them to try to, you know, play man-to-man. Right? And they felt that, you know, we don't think Luka can score 30 and Bron score 30 and y'all can still win. I think, you know, you guys need a little bit of everybody. So, you know, they won game 1 and, you know, now
And I don't think Daniel's gonna be hitting like that neither. Daniel's
No, I don't expect them to be 50% and hitting like that. You know,
Sure.
You know, this is the role players won game 1 for them,
for sure.
right? We need our role players to win game 2.
And I think LeBron can easily get Julius in foul trouble, get him out the game, because Julius was doing some crazy shit out there. He got the tech for no reason. Yeah, you could get him out of this game. So LeBron just plays smarter that.
So, Vlad,
But why was they switching Luka on Anthony Edwards? You seen that?
Barbecue chicken time.
Yeah, I'm like, why is he guarding him? Like, what?
Like barbecue, he saw him was like, oh
Man.
But even with Ant, I mean, it's not like Ant beat us. Like Ant's gonna do what Ant do. Like you know, it's the other shooters that's, you know, getting open and hitting shots. So that's.
Ant came back in. That's when he beat us. When he was making that run.
Yeah, Ant left the
came
third
back
quarter with
in.
the cramp, the leg cramp. Came back in, did his thing. But Vlad, obviously, you say you're a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
By extension, you got to be a LeBron fan as well. You think Bron's going to bounce back in game 2 or?
I don't know, man.
Shout out,
It's hard-
Shaq.
it's hard
Okay,
to
you
say.
know, you used to have Bron over in Cleveland too. I appreciate it. You got faith
Yeah.
in him still. He brought y'all a championship.
It's hard to say, man. I mean, LeBron's 40.
A young 40 though.
He's a
Still
young
active
40.
on social media.
Still 40.
40.
I mean, I hope so. I've been a LeBron fan for a long time, but I don't know. And also, I mean, when it comes down to it, does LeBron really have that killer instinct?
Yeah. Say yeah.
On the level of a Kobe or a Michael? I don't know. You know?
Right now?
Especially right now? I don't know. I don't know. When certain players, you know, get to the finals, it's over. When LeBron gets to the finals, sometimes, not always. So I don't know. You know, like I say, he's getting older now. He's trolling on social media. He's responding to rappers. He's responding to, you know, people
Indirectly.
yeah, and I mean, listen, we talked
Just
about how
praising his queen on Easter.
like when was the last time LeBron did an interview? Like just recently. Before then was like, it's been years and years. I don't remember. When was the last time LeBron did an actual interview with a journalist?
Yeah, he's too famous for that.
He's too famous.
He
for
did
that.
do, he did the Mind the Game podcast with JJ Redick, who was a
But that's
journalist
his
at that
friend. Like, you know, that's a little different. That's
what
different than sitting
journalist?
down with like an actual
I
real
get it.
journalist. So I don't know.
Yeah,
What
but
journalists like him?
No, it's not. What?
I mean,
okay.
anyone would love to have LeBron. Seriously, who
Yeah,
would
but-
turn down a LeBron interview?
Nobody's going to turn down a
Yeah.
LeBron interview, but that's been always a thing with, athletes and journalists. Journalists spend so much time running narratives that when it's time for them to do an interview with that player don't want to. Right? It's like trying to get, Kevin Durant. Like the shit you write about Kevin, he's read everything. So you're not going to get an interview with Kevin Durant, right? You're not going to get an interview with Kyrie. You're not going to get an interview with Tatum unless the team says, hey, you must do this interview with, TNT. Other than that, these guys listen to what people are saying, and they're like, well, fuck you, right? I'd rather do an interview with another podcast that fucks with me, another NBA player, because another NBA player is going to be selective with his questioning.
I feel you. I mean, like the players get so big that it doesn't matter about the platform. They're bigger than the platform. So they pick the platform that they want. But I just feel like at a certain point, being in the public, me being in the public for so long, you accept the hate as part of it. You don't necessarily get mad at someone just because they said negative things about you. Like, I've gone to lots of platforms that have spoken negatively about me, but I'll still sit down and engage because at the end of the day, it's not personal.
Yeah,
everyone's doing a job.
But athletes take it personal. We take it personal because most of the time what you're attacking is the personal part of the player, not the sport of the player, right? So we understand there's two sides of us. Most people, there's only one side of you. As an NBA player, it's two sides of us, and the one side that you're attacking, and you usually attack, you don't even know that side. You don't know the personal side of it. You don't know the family man. You don't know my charities. You don't know none of that. No one cares. You only know the basketball side, but you use the basketball side to attack the personal side. And say, oh, you're not this, you're not that, you're not this. And like, where are you getting that from? Right? For the most part, everyone loved Kobe, right?
Yeah.
No one knew he spent so much doing homeless community stuff.
Yeah.
No one knew that until he passed away, because you don't know who he is when he goes home and takes off that uniform. You only know the uniform person, and you think that's his personality. Not knowing he spent and did so much for the homeless community. He did so much for girls basketball. Like I used to go to, because I have the kids, we went to, no one knew he was coaching that team for 2 years.
Yeah.
No one knows everyone fights about how Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. And I can tell you, no one knows shit about Michael Jordan today. Since 2002. You don't know. If I ask you what's the address of his golf course, no one knows. But I can just tell you, if you're really a basketball fan or really Michael Jordan fan, you would know it has something to do with 23. You can just guess 23. Right? You can just guess and say that's going to be a play on an address. Right? And everybody know, why is it Black Cat Road? Because that was his name. But amongst NBA players, he was the Black Cat. Right? Black Cat was known as something you don't cross, because it was bad luck for you.
Okay.
So his nickname was the Black Cat, and that's his golf course address. Right? But if you're a real basketball or a real Michael Jordan fan, you would know that. So most people don't know the actual person themselves. They know what they see on TV.
Address?
If you're a golfer, yeah.
Right. But you don't.
If you're a golfer, that's where you should go.
Black Cat,
But it's
Black Cat 23?
23 Black Cat.
Look, but like historically,
but that's what I'm saying. I'm a fan of the person. So if I'm a fan of the person, I know everything the person's doing. So when you're a journalist, when you're attacking the person's character, they don't know which part of them are you attacking my character when I'm not playing, or my basketball character? You got to pick one.
right? But I mean, don't you think? I mean, like historically, I get it, because there's only a few media outlets and a few big, sports personalities and so forth. But now, when you look at social media, you have to kind of deal with the overall hate and everyone having a voice and so forth.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm a lot less sensitive now than I was 10 years ago. Because it's like, I got a million people a day talking shit about me and saying the worst shit possible.
No,
You know what I mean? Like,
they're saying it right here.
yeah. I hope your mother dies. I hope your kids, get killed. Like, you read that enough, and someone's random comment who's a media personality really doesn't matter that much.
Yeah. You talk about LeBron, who's got so much hate, so much vitriol over the course of his entire career. It does seem a little odd that now.
But hate, like.
But
he does see everything.
As
some stuff triggers
okay,
people.
as public figures here, right? There's the internet and then there's real life. You would think that Vlad is hated in real life. That's the exact opposite. On the internet, I get a ton of hate every day. I walk out of the house, 2, 3, 4, 5 people a day will ask me for photos, tell me how much they love my shit, pose with their kids and so forth. I don't get hate in real life. On the internet, I get more hate than probably everyone here on this couch.
Well, I feel
that's
like we're
okay.
close, Vlad. The chat really doesn't fuck with me. Occasionally.
They don't fuck with you.
They started to shift a little bit.
I don't know though, man. My hate is sort of on, biblical level sometimes.
Well, like Gil said,
you top tier.
Top tier. Most hated. But I don't know. But with that little bit of online hate, you get the hundreds of millions of dollars, the people that just absolutely adore you, people who buy your shoes, put your poster up, kids who want to be you. Like, it's such a, you get all this, you got to deal with a little bit of hate from the media or some online.
Is, I think his kid and his
wife.
Yeah, that's what anybody would pop out
I think Bron has usually been pretty cool. Like, you can say whatever you want about me on off the court, but don't talk about me as a father and don't talk about my queen.
I guess.
But
Yeah, but when your son is a professional basketball player, you can't really say don't talk about my son anymore.
But you talk about his parenting.
But that's the problem.
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
As a troll, and as the chats of trolls, if I find a weakness and you give me a weakness to troll you, I'm gonna troll you.
Okay.
Right? So if you say, don't talk about this, if I know that this is what irritates you, then it makes me want to do it more.
Yeah.
And I have people, like when I come to the games, I have people that, your son's a ball boy, you're a ball hog, pass the ball. And they talking to me. Nigga, talk to that nigga. I don't give a fuck. What the fuck I give a fuck for? Talk to him. Shit, I don't give a fuck if he's a ball hog. That's not my problem. Right? So I understand what people are trying to do. Most people just want attention, right? And they know the human brain is going to look for the most negative thing. Like, there can be 100 people writing, we love you, we love you, we love you, and then someone says, you're a rat. You're going to look at the rat part. And that's just how our human brain works, and we're going to go after that, right? So it's easier to be a troll than it is to be positive.
But when you guys were playing, didn't you thrive a little bit more off of the doubt, criticism, the negative stuff? Somebody's like, you're trash, you can't, you know what I mean?
But that's the basketball part. When you leave the court, we just have this, fake, our love has been so fake since we was little that when we see negative, we don't know how to respond to it. Like, you got to think about, BJ is a prime example. You was paying your mother rent since how long?
11 years old.
So since 11 years old.
Wait. You've been paying your mother's rent since 11 years old.
Yeah, for basketball.
So what were you generating at 11 years old in order to pass that over to your mother?
Enough to keep a roof over our head.
Really?
Man,
But she also played a big part in that by making sure we was in better situations.
No. Listen, I'm not. I think it's great, but I'm just saying, what revenue exactly was coming
at 11?
Basketball.
At 11.
I mean, this is, I got a roof. I got
local guys were basically helping you out.
No, basketball. For basketball, people seeing the talent in them.
Yeah.
So they're paying for you to come on my team so I can win these championships.
Oh, like the school and stuff like that?
No, AAU programs.
AAU programs.
AAU.
At 11 was already putting money behind.
Yeah, it was me. I mean, the team, me and DeMar DeRozan was on the same team at 11 years old.
Huh.
Like, we were, you know what I'm saying? Like, I moved to Orange County, and I was going to middle school in Orange County. Like, private school, everything. I don't know how so I know.
So there was some.
So think about it.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah. So from an early age, once someone's seeing that you have this special talent, right? They're kissing your ass. You're getting a whole bunch of fake praises, right? How great you are, this is this. So you're getting all this love. So we don't know negativity.
But is it really fake though? I don't know.
In a sense, we're not getting real. We don't know what's real.
But people are actually admiring something you're doing.
Yes. So
it's not like.
But
But it's a facade, and you're not really doing it. You are actually accomplishing something, and people are seeing you accomplish it, and they're saying, hey, I love that you accomplished it.
But now think about that. Now, for the first time, we got that through middle school, high school, college. And the first time we're going to hear something negative about us is when we get to the pros and someone writes this article about how selfish we are, we're not a leader, we're not this. That's our first introduction when we get to the pros of something that's negative.
But that's now. But with social media, it'll start earlier.
No, it doesn't.
You don't think that you get hate in college on social media?
What are you hating me for because I'm busting your ass as a road team?
Well, we were in college at a different time, so there wasn't a lot of hate on
college these days.
Like Cooper Flag.
These days is different.
Cooper Flag, what hate is he getting?
A lot.
The other team because I'm scoring 40?
No, a lot. Just like
no,
man, you won't make it. Yo, you overrated.
Yeah, but that's not reality. That's fake.
But it's still
he's
there.
reading that though. Like,
But that's not real. That no one looks at that. Like, I'm the #1 player in the country. I'm doing this.
Different.
So you're saying I'm not going to make it? Okay. That's not real. When I get to the NBA and a person writes a real article on my real performance, that's the one that hits me. Me scoring 30, 12, and 12, and you say, oh, you're not going to be the #1 pick?
You didn't think you had like somebody write something in the Final Four just now?
No. What?
When he missed the shot and all that?
I'm scoring 30-something, I miss a shot, okay?
I mean, going to Duke. I mean,
but what?
Coming out of high school,
What is negative?
What you mean? The negative comments? I'm sure we go to Cooper Flag. I'm sure we go to Cooper Flag page right now. There are negative comments.
That's not the same as a person on ESPN or someone writing and saying, this man sucks. He's not this. He's not that. Look at this performance. He's a bust. That is very different from a comment that someone's trying to get an attention.
Because of the star power and the ability that those people at the ESPN level have to influence.
Travis Hunter.
Travis
Hunter.
What? Yeah, Travis Hunter.
He had hate on epic levels.
Now you can
on epic levels.
Now, but it's hate on epic levels of him doing what exactly? Being great?
Well, the whole thing with the girlfriend.
But that's what I'm saying. It's his girlfriend. So, but you can see how his emotions hit with that. Just that. It's just that. That like the people who's hating is we love you, we don't like your girlfriend.
Yeah,
right?
that's all
and
part
he's
of
still
it.
emotional.
But you're getting wrapped up in the whole thing.
But we're still
you're still with her.
But
you got to deal with that.
Still emotional about that.
Hold on, having
but that's what I'm saying.
A high-profile public girlfriend.
But that
will get to you.
But that,
am I right?
You're attacking her. You're not attacking.
It's different now than back then.
Yeah,
but you're not seeing the difference.
Especially you're someone that was someone who was very social media heavy and also very social media attacked, unfortunately.
For sure.
You know, so you have a unique perspective on this that the rest of us don't.
But you're attacking
our women pretty much get left alone.
But as I'm saying, you're attacking her. That still has
but it still reflects.
It's still not me. I'm still got.
You gotta go home and deal with it.
Yeah. But you're not.
You gotta go home and you know what someone said to me.
But it doesn't matter.
She said someone said I should kill myself so you could be great. Like like
you're coming from a journalist part. You're not attacking me for my greatness. You're attacking her. Okay, cool.
But you still gotta hear about it.
You're attacking my greatness.
They call him dumb and all that.
Cool. But what does that got to do with the 4 touchdowns?
I just
about the 4 touchdowns.
Pictures of his girl with other dudes in the park. He waiting outside. Like that's attacking your character.
Yeah,
that's attacking her character.
No, if I'm sitting outside,
my character too.
Who's she gonna vent to? You.
They said you a sucker and all this.
When Kevin Durant gets mad, what are you attacking?
Well, he keeps everything private.
What are you attacking?
He keeps everything private.
What are you attacking?
The whole porn star.
What are you attacking? You're attacking
thing. I don't know.
You're saying even though he's averaging 27, you're attacking him and his basketball knowledge, his skill, his professionalism. When you say you're not a leader, and he's like, how the fuck are you gonna say that? Who the fuck are you? You're not. You ain't been in one practice. I've never seen you. You're online talking about my profession that I do for a living.
Wait, did KD?
You attacking my girlfriend? I don't give a fuck about that. I'm a defender, but that has nothing to do with what I put my heart into.
Didn't KD get caught with his burner account,
again,
replying to people?
But again,
so to say that it doesn't bother him when he's doing all that,
I'm saying
to think you're KD, let me create a fake burner account so I can argue with trolls. This is how I'm going to spend my time.
But again,
why it makes no sense. I have never had a burner account in my life. And I am like 1/100th of a KD, you know, celebrity level and wealth level.
But that's not what. But again,
I would never think to waste my time doing this.
But he does.
For him, it was important enough to argue with a random person.
Yes.
Kevin Durant.
Yes.
And you have a picture of like a gopher like arguing with somebody who probably has a picture of like a cat.
I'll say in KD's defense with that, he just wanted to feel normal. Kevin can't have a regular conversation with somebody on Twitter or social media without them saying, "Oh, you're Kevin Durant." Now, if I'm just a regular person,
want to have a regular conversation with
sometimes you be bored. You just want to communicate. You want to be social.
You know what?
Pointless activity.
So somebody like Kevin Durant, people laugh at him for having a burner account to defend himself. I guarantee you, if you take the two most hated people, Kevin Durant and LeBron James, and let's say, all right, we all Stephen A. Smith, everyone who attacks, let's go to work. Let's do a 24-hour Truman Show on let's see who puts in the most work in their job. The people who bash can't even do 25% of the things these people do. Totally so when Kevin Durant sits there and he's sitting there watching film for 3 hours, working out for 6 hours, working on his body for 3 hours, and you have the nerve to say, I'm not a leader, that's why the burner account happens. The burner account happens because I put so much time to be questioned by who? You go to work for 30 minutes? Get the fuck out of here. Who are you? And that's where the problem comes in. Because the people don't value the account. Because the burner account is, you only see me from 7 to 9 o'clock when your TV's on. You don't see me from 3 in the morning into that game day. But you're throwing your whole narrative on my whole life.
Okay.
As if I only work this job from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
I get it.
But why?
But what is the satisfaction?
Like that?
Yeah.
Who is it going to explain this?
No, just on his
Your
own
burner
page.
account responds, no one sees the response, and that's it.
Yeah.
A burner account with 3 followers responds to a troll who's got 18 followers.
It doesn't matter who the...
And life goes on and nobody cares and nothing happens.
but sometimes you just got to pop out and talk to that one person.
I don't
Sometimes
get it.
it's
Now,
just
if he responded, it'd be like, okay, I respect that. But to respond with a burner account just seems ridiculous.
He got fined $50,000 for responding for himself.
Well, the Michael Rappaport thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he can't be him.
You can respond a certain type of way. You just can't respond like I'm going to fuck your wife or whatever the fuck else response.
You can't respond regular. Okay.
Yeah. You can't do that. But I don't know, man. I don't get it.
There you go crazy.
shout out to
I
KD,
forgot
man.
about that.
You don't get it because the athlete is the one that gets attacked but can't fight back because he gets fined from his job.
Huh.
So now you got to create these avenues and just basically take it. Like you can't be normal. Like I can't. If LeBron James addresses you or anybody addresses you straight up like a man, his job now takes offense. Your job doesn't. Rappaport didn't get fined by nobody.
No.
There's no sponsor there. They're going to fine you $25,000 for doing it. No. So basically they have to sit on pins and needles. So I'd rather come from a fake account to defend myself. Even if one person sees it, I don't give a fuck. One person.
Yeah, listen, I interviewed Michael Rappaport about this. I know him. I don't think what he did was cool at all. From what I understand, those two actually had a relationship, and I think that KD was actually hiring Rappaport to do some work for him and so forth. So I think KD felt that he was in a safe space DMing somebody he actually knows. So I don't like that Michael put that out there, and I told him that in our interview.
Yeah.
But, I guess in those situations, you can never really trust anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I get it.
So
But-
let's shift.
Yeah, I remember when I was on Twitter, I was, being my Twitter, having fun on my Twitter. And
That was after you retired, though.
this is when I was playing.
Oh, you were on Twitter when you were playing?
Yeah,
Oh,
when I was
okay.
playing, it was on a lockout, and I was getting fined $50,000 for comments.
What did you say to get a $50,000?
Some wild shit.
guy?
He was saying
Just
some
wild. Just wild, regular
Give me an
funny
example.
shit.
No, I want to hear the $50,000 tweet.
Yeah.
You got it, man. You can't be that rich when you forget
It was
$50,000
2010.
tweet.
It was I was at the strip club. Oh, I was in Miami. And then like Memorial Day weekend, every stripper from around the world decides they want to bring their asses to Miami to perform. And I said, they need kettles out here. Dog kettles because they wasn't really cute.
Okay.
That
cost $50,000.
That didn't cost $50,000.
That doesn't sound right.
You said more shit than that.
Yeah,
for sure.
That doesn't sound right.
That was probably one of the
Kettles?
soft ones. You doing
Kettles, man.
I forgot Disney. Think of Disney. Yeah.
That's why I got fine.
I think you're leaving out part of it.
Nah, but remember, I got in trouble already. So basically, they were just trying to get me off of
To send a
saying
message.
some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Even though it was, you know what I mean? So it's
What's that special coming out on you, by the way? Is it out yet?
May 6th.
May 6th.
May 6th?
On Netflix.
Okay. Were you part of it?
I mean, I told my story.
Okay.
Wasn't part of it.
No, they interviewed you for it.
Shooting guards on Netflix, May 6th. But let's get back to Lakers for just a moment.
Damn!
More like
This is positive, Gil. Positive. Positivity.
You can't go back to where we
Positivity.
start. You just move on to the next subject.
No, this is. So we asked the chat, expect LeBron to bounce back in game 2. 75% of the chat said yes, but this is a positive. So in other Lakers news, Luka did a sit-down interview with Malika Andrews, discussed his trade from the Mavs and experience with the Lakers so far. In the interview, Andrews asked him if he wanted to stay in LA for the long term, and Luka said yes. You sound, okay. But it's nice to hear from Slovenian Jesus that he wants to hang out for a
Where
while.
he gonna go?
Right? This is for life. Fuck Death Row over here. Death Row Records over
How long is
here.
the deal with Lakers?
you signed that 3
So
Yeah.
I think he's up for an extension in the near future. Let me just check. Supermax, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
We gonna get
Man, that motherfucker got half.
We gonna get him for the 360.
He got a half of Long Beach. He owns half of Long Beach
So
right
he's
now.
got one more year in his deal and a player option, 26, 27. I believe he's eligible for an extension in the near future. Can sign as Supermax.
Man, listen.
They're going to give it to him.
This is Luka Town, man.
It
This is Luka Town, man.
It is a Luka town.
Bring the flag or whatever. Hey, listen, LA, the shit they was doing over in Dallas, bring that shit here. Make them feel at home.
Didn't he say that he still uses the phone that he broke?
So he found out the trade. He
Yeah.
threw the phone, shattered the back of the phone, but still uses that phone because he said it still works. So shout out to Luka.
Apple, Steve Jobs, people.
He don't want a new phone, Gil. He's
It doesn't matter. You give him a year, a lifetime supply. of
He's stuck in his
phones.
ways.
So he was that mad at the trade that he broke his phone?
I'm sure. I'm
for sure.
disappointed to find out under that circumstance, but his boo still had the phone, brought it out during the interview. He still uses it. Shout out to
They said
Luka.
I'm capping. Hold on.
Capping on what
I guess Gilbert is.
the Twitter find? No, I got the article here.
Oh, you did?
From June 8, 2011. I don't have the tweets, but it said that you were fined for comments he made on social media site. This is when you were with the Magic, right?
They didn't put the tweet in the article?
So he said, Arenas made a joke, apologized to the ladies. It may have offended.
See?
And asked
Oh,
someone to
yeah.
message him the NBA's Twitter rules.
I told you they actually should have been in some dog kennels. I said that shit. I was at the strip
But
club.
you
Like, oh man, it's getting rough out here.
You apologize for it.
They shouldn't be stripping.
So you can't call women ugly when you are
I didn't call
in
them
the
ugly.
NBA, but you kind of inferred that.
He said rough and Kendall at the same time.
You called them dogs.
I seen that
yeah,
shit.
call 'em, yeah.
There was a pregnant stripper there with a bullet hole in her ass. What else do you need?
Yeah,
what
Nah, this ain't Miami, man.
King of Diamonds.
No, ain't no way.
No, normal King of Diamonds ain't no way. Memorial Day weekend, when they think they can get paid, shit, everything shows up.
So
Jesus
pregnant,
Everything.
With a bullet hole in your ass?
pregnant, bullet hole, man.
hole.
You know how
That
bad when the one-legged
was
stripper in there stripping?
That was pussies, my nigga.
Like, come on, man, I didn't come to pay for this shit.
I'm
outta here, dog.
Nah, that was using OKC.
I was still not.
That's okay. You was in OKC.
No,
Nah.
the OKC stripper came there.
It's during the lockout
Nigga
too?
said one leg. Like,
Y'all must have never been to.
Have not.
Nah, we have been.
Have not.
So yeah, I got fined for that. So it was.
But does not
I
sound
ain't never
illegal.
been to
I was bored. It was the lockout.
All right,
I'm
well,
about to say, yeah.
Yeah, I got fined a lot.
let's keep
I
it.
even snitched then too.
little
It
deep.
was yeah, because I got fined $50,000, and then I seen another NBA player did a whole rant. F these beat, like I guess he was going through some women problems. So he went ham, and they didn't do nothing.
Little deep.
And I was on a meeting, and they fined me, and I said, "Are y'all motherfucking kidding me?" I said, and I sent it. So this is fine, but the shit, my little joke, I get fined $50,000. I got $50,000 for that, and then got found $50,000 for something. And this right here is on Twitter, and this can happen. And then they fined him $50,000.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Hey, come about the bushes. They caught
I'm sorry, Matt. You know, I owe you $50,000.
We cut.
Come on up the bushes, they call us.
It was my man, Matt. I'm sorry, Matt. You know what I mean?
That's family, Gil.
I know. It wasn't family then. It's family now. I'm sorry. I owe you
Matt?
I owe you $50,000, man. You know what I mean? That random $50,000. You know, because I was happy after that. You know what? As long as you're keeping it fair. I don't feel like I'm out here by myself. Around here getting fined $50,000.
No, that's a sick stitch. That's a sick stitch, man.
Hey, no. Listen.
Little chocolate.
2010. Remember, I just got in trouble, so I lost everything. Right?
Everything.
Sponsorship. So if y'all thought No Chill was me now, if you go back and
I remember.
try to find them tweets from me in 2010. They had to get me offline. I was going at a comedian. I don't even know if that comedian even did other jokes after that.
I'm your
I went at there was two comedians, they said I stole their joke. And I said, how I steal something? I just made it famous. It ain't yours. It's mine. It's over for you. It's done.
It's done.
I don't know. I ain't seen the nigga since. His career is over. I should have been a comedian, boy.
Snitching and ending career.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It was two of them. They done.
man,
They ain't have a career after that no more.
Let's keep this thing moving. Today's podcast is sponsored by Roe. Roe Sparks are 2-in-1 prescription treatment for stronger, harder erections. They hit the bloodstream faster because they dissolve under the tongue, and getting hard faster means having more sex. After they dissolve, they work in 15 minutes on average. Roe stays active in your system up to 36 hours, so you can go back to back to back or be ready the morning after. Roe connects guys with a medical provider 100% online, so there's no awkward conversation with in-person providers. If approved, treatment ships directly to their door. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with the provider at roe.co/arena to find out if prescription Roe Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/arena for $15 off your first order. All right, let's keep it moving. I don't even want to know, Gil. I don't want to know.
Comedian know him?
I've never heard of that guy.
No, did not know who that is.
I actually interview a lot of comedians.
Don't know who that
part
is.
of that.
I'm not gonna read the name.
You gonna read it? You can read it.
I don't know. I don't do that, Gil.
It was 2011. That was the end of it.
What's his
He
name?
might be looking for you.
Joe Mandy.
No, I ain't never heard.
I never heard of him.
Never heard.
Yeah.
You ended his career, huh? Before he even started.
Stole his joke.
I didn't steal it. I borrowed.
Hey, great artist.
Let's get back to playoff basketball.
Great artist steal.
If we can. A lot of playoff action going on around the league. So Rockets were one of the biggest surprises in the West, locking up the 2 seed to reach their first playoff since the bubble, while the Warriors bested the Grizzlies to win the play-in chip and grab the 7th seed. Last time these two teams met on April 6th, Steph was held to just 3 points in a Rockets win, but this one went a little bit differently. Let's take a look at the highlights. But on the positive for Rockets, Alperen Sengun sent a message to Defensive Player of the Year finalist Draymond Green by dunking all over his life to help the Rockets deliver the first punch, but the Warriors responded with an 18-3 run in the second quarter, outscoring Houston 29-13 in that quarter. But before we get there,
all over his life.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Sengun caught him.
All over his life.
He caught him with that Turkish Airlines. But in the second quarter, like I said, Warriors 18-3 run. Outscored Houston by 16 points. Took a 13-point lead into the break. So Warriors held the Rockets to just 34 points in the first half.
What time is that?
Their lowest total this season.
Oh yeah, I knew what time it was when he shot that.
So Warriors led by as much as 23 in the third quarter, but then the Rockets went on a 25-6 run to end the third and the start of the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Oh yeah, Jimmy.
But Jimmy and Steph, Chef Curry, playoff
Like
Jimmy
that
back home in Houston.
This is crazy.
Doing
Right
his
here.
thing. This one right here
Damn.
made me scream.
Big shot.
Even Jimmy's reaction,
Oh yeah.
crazy. But
God.
yeah, Steph was doing his thing.
Damn, man.
So
yeah.
Rockets cut the deficit just 3 points midway through the fourth. We're down by 4 with less than 3 minutes remaining, but the Warriors went on an 11-2 run. Playoff Jimmy scoring 6 of those points to put the game out of reach. So Steph led the Dubs with 31 points and 6 boards, going 12 for 19 from the field, 6 for 9 from 3. Jimmy Butler did work in his first playoff game with the Warriors back in his hometown of Houston. 25.7 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals. Alperen Sengun led Houston with 26 and 9 boards. He was 11-18 from the field, but no other Rockets player scored more than 11 points in the game. Jalen Green struggled with 7 points on 3 of 15 shooting, while Fred VanVleet had 10 and 8 assists on 4 of 19 shooting, going 2 for 13 from deep. So the Warriors were 47% from the field, 38% from 3, while the Rockets 39% from the field, just 21% from 3. So what did we learn in Game 1 of the Warriors-Rockets series?
That everybody wanted the Rockets.
Steph is the GOAT.
Houston, we have a problem.
Steph is the GOAT.
It's good to see Jimmy hooping, though. Jimmy showed up.
Look, you said everybody wanted to see the Rockets. Everybody vying for that 7th spot when the Warriors lost to the Clippers in overtime to end the regular season. Talked about them potentially playing with fire, having to deal with the play-in. Obviously, they beat the Grizzlies to get that 7th spot. Now it appears that they're right where they want to be.
They have the superstars. I mean, they have a superstar that's going to generate superstar fouls. I mean, it's the perfect team. It's no different than a couple years ago when we seen Memphis there and Sacramento, right? Mm-hmm. And you got Golden State and the Lakers, you know, at that, was it 6, 7 spot?
What?
The year the Grizzlies and Sacramento was 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Right, and you're facing Lakers, LeBron and Steph Curry, and you have no chance. Right, all that regular season shit that people talk about, obviously it doesn't work.
Josh said I'm fine in the West.
Oh yeah, that series.
He was not.
Right now, as you can see, that the style you played in regular season against Steph is not going to work in the playoffs. And when it comes down to it, who does Houston actually give the ball to? That's my thing. They don't actually have a star player, right? They have to play great as a team, right? You know, a star player that's going to demand the ref's attention and that's going to demand the fouls. They don't have that guy, right? And Sengun he hasn't put in enough work for a ref to give him the benefit of the doubt when it comes down to the end of the game. So, the last 5 minutes where your star player takes over, they don't have that, right? So, when you look at that from a veteran team, that is the team you wanted to play.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, Gil, like you mentioned, Rockets had 7 players average double figures this season. Jalen Green led the team with 21 points per game. Sengun was at 19 points per game. Sengun was the only one.
Somebody said y'all said Golden State wasn't going to win. No, nobody said y'all.
No, we didn't.
Well, I don't know who the fuck is y'all.
We didn't. So we just said it was going to be a good series, but from the look of it, it looked like it's going to be over in 5.
Praying for a team's downfall versus knowing what the reality is.
I literally said
two different things.
For the Lakers playing Golden State in the second round with that team or playing a young Rockets team, I love our chances for the Western Conference Finals.
You did say that.
I know.
But like I said, Rockets, 7 players average double figures. Jalen Green, supposed to be that young emerging star, led the team 21 points per game during the regular season. Sengun was at 19 points per game, but Sengun only one who delivered in this game. Like we mentioned, Jalen Green struggled, 7 points.
Too young. He's too young.
Rockets guard play left much to be desired. So how much will the Rockets not having a go-to guy in crunch time hurt them in this series? They need somebody to be able to go get a bucket.
Green got to step up, man. You got to stop thinking, stop worrying about missing, and study the game. Whether they need him, they need him. Like his athlete, him going to the hole, dunking, and that could change the game. He got the same type of abilities, I feel like, as all these other young up-and-coming guards. So, but it's the summertime for him. I think he got to work on the in-between game because he relied too much on threes and dunking. So,
yeah,
take that away.
You know, so funny watching him right now, Green, and watching Cade. Cade is a more sound basketball.
Yeah.
Jalen Green is a highlight reel right now. And I think this series is going to teach him a lot of, how to play this game. You can't play with all athleticism. Cade is, right now when it comes to just a pure basketball player, Cade is in front. If you're talking about open court highlights, then obviously, Green is the more exciting player. But, right now, this is going to be one of those series where he's going to have to be a real student of basketball because just being athletic, that's not going to work, to get through this series. Like, there's some series you have to be decoys and there's some series you have to be, a star player. And, you asked a question about Asar. And Asar has, Houston has a problem now because Jimmy Butler's stepping up. So it's like, Asar, I need you on Jimmy Butler.
Amen, you mean?
Amen, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Amen, I'm thinking about Detroit. Amen, right? When Jimmy Butler's scoring, now you need Amen on Jimmy Butler, right? And then it's like, so now Amen has to go from Jimmy Butler to Steph Curry to Jimmy, like it's hard. It's kind of a hard task. What I do like about Houston is their ability to change their lineups.
Yeah.
They brought up that big lineup, I think, that you mentioned last week.
And they got to roll out, that's the only thing where I says, if you roll out a big-ass lineup so Steph can't shoot those threes where you're just sitting there huge for moments in the game, it could help you. But, you're not going to be able to bully through them like you did in that game one.
Yeah, this whole series is going to come down to experience. I just think Houston's just too young. And I think when you have Golden State that's hitting shots the way they're hitting, and you have Jimmy playing the way he's playing, it kind of like, it kind of brings you down when you're not used to those type of situations. Steph hitting that shot, that crazy shot, Steph coming down, hitting them long, them shits is like, them kind of like, that kind of bring your whole team down, especially when you're not used to it and don't know how to play through that. But yeah, I think this is going to be a good learning experiences for them, just to learn how to play basketball.
We talk a lot about Steph's off-ball movement, too. You kind of would rather have the ball in his hands because as soon as he passes, as a defender, chasing this dude for 10, 12 seconds, coming off screens.
And his screening is very underrated, too. Nobody talk about how Steph get other players open. Like, he come down screen, that person over, get a backdoor cut. Now you got to worry about. So just the way he just played the game is just like, man, like you just.
The only series, this is the only series, if Golden State wins, no one is looking at Houston like, oh, yeah, y'all. Like, this is probably the only. This is the only series where this won't feel like an upset to anybody. Like, you're playing against Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, and you lose this series, no one's gonna be like, oh man, y'all are a disappointment. It's just one of those things where
it's expected.
Yeah.
Now if the Lakers lose, that's a little. That's
we're
what the fuck does the Lakers got to do with
why
this?
Why you bringing up the Lakers?
Shit about the Lakers.
No, I'm just saying.
I ain't just saying. We talking about them. We're saying this team right here.
Right, but you asked about other series.
No, I didn't. I said
you said this is the only series that if they lose, it'd be like, all right. But if the Lakers lose, it's gonna be kind of like.
If Lakers lose, it's an upset. It's not the same thing.
So you think Warriors winning this series is not an upset?
Not really. No, it's not an upset. Like, no one's going to say, oh, man, Houston got upset. It is just like,
So, late in the season, obviously after the Jimmy Butler trade happened, we talked about him being a little too passive, not being aggressive. Steph, 19 shots in this game. Jimmy, 19 shots in this game. This is the playoff Jimmy that the Warriors need, right, if they want to keep. Give him some smoke, Gil. Good job.
Okay.
Good man. Man of the people. Two different smoke machines, Bron and Bronny are their nicknames. But Vlad, looking at this Warriors squad, you feel like the Rockets are in trouble with this Warriors dynamic duo?
I'm from the Bay. It's going to be hard for me to say anything bad about the Warriors.
Okay.
And I feel like Steph doesn't really get the respect that he's due. When you talk about the GOAT conversation, like, a lot of times you don't mention Steph in that conversation. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Which, I don't know, maybe 5, 10 years from now, they'll look at his whole body of work and that they might say differently. But, like, what does he not do to be in this GOAT conversation?
Man.
What is he missing to be in this GOAT conversation? Seriously.
He's missing a lot.
Such as?
Scoring titles, Finals MVPs, right? It's, the GOAT. When we're talking about the best player ever, you can't lean on team accolades. Everybody wants to lean on rings, like that actually helps your case for the best player ever. The best player ever is what did you do as an individual first. It's no different than baseball, right? Barry Bonds is one of the GOATs, or he is the GOAT.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he ever won a championship. No one gives a fuck. What did you do? Like your team success is team success. That's players on top of players. But Barry Bonds is probably one or two greatest of all time. And when you hear players talk, he is the greatest of all time. And he never won not one championship. Right? So
there's sort of an asterisk by Barry Bonds.
Oh yeah, just like
the steroids used.
But it should
7 MVPs, though, 8 Gold Gloves.
Because it's MVP.
12 Silver Slugger.
It's MVPs. So it's what did you do against the field?
Okay.
Like it's you versus the field. You versus 495 other players. Where did you stand among them? So that's where LeBron falls, Kobe fell to Jordan. Jordan was 6-time MVP. He was a 10-time scoring champ, right? Like those things you can't stay away from. It's always going to be used. Even if you match him for rings, he's going to say, okay, yeah, our teams did great together, but what did you do? You got 6 finals? Huh? You got 10 scoring titles? Did you lead the league in scoring 10 times and win? Like there's a lot of things that go into it as an individual first. Mm-hmm. Right, and so when you look at everyone's body of work,
you got 2 MVPs.
Yeah, 2 MVPs. There's motherfuckers with 6.
Only unanimous.
Only unanimous.
Cool.
How many points he got?
He's up there. But you're far away. Like even with Jokic and all of them, when you look at that top 10 and you take away rings and you say, let me see your body of work. Then you're like, oh shit.
And impact though, his impact.
Yeah, that impact don't have no points.
Steph over 25,000 career points.
Your impact doesn't have no points. Like you can't use your opinion.
Because Jordan impact shouldn't matter.
There's no take away impact. Things that I know.
I want to be like Mike.
What do I know? If you put a point, give me a point for everything you do.
So would you put Steph all-time top 5?
In my personal, yes. My personal, yes. Because with my personal, I say this. If I look at you, as in you line up all the greats, Steph looks like we're going to pick him last, right? When you're talking about you looking at Shaquille O'Neal, Wilt, you're looking at LeBron, you're looking at, Tim Duncan, you're looking at all these people. When you look at Steph, you're looking at, all right, you're last, right? So the fact that his regular ass body, his regular ass hands, speed, and this is what he's done with it. He's maximized his greatness to this point because of his work ethic. I'm surpassing. You're 6'10" with a 40-inch vertical. You were supposed to fucking been great. You got 3 rings with the greatness that you were inherited. And he has 4 with this. He don't supposed to have this when there's these Goliaths in the game. So the fact that his work ethic and sheer will got him here, yes, he's part of my top 5.
Do you think, like me and Willie D were talking the other day. He just had knee surgery. We were having this conversation about, do you think that humans are designed for serious, extended athletic ability? Because when you look at a lot of athletes, as they get older in life, they fall apart. Certain sports more than others, of course, but I know a lot of people who are getting to their 40s and 50s and really go through major, major health problems. Do you think that we're pushing, as professional athletes, do you think that you guys are sacrificing yourself knowing that later on in life you're going to be fucked up? Or do you think that it just depends on the person? It's hit or miss. Talk about the human body in general.
I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, I don't think LeBron. We're looking at LeBron at 40. I think he's still going to be fine, still walking around fine when he gets 60. I think it's just about how you take care of your body and what you're eating. A lot of us athletes, when we're done, we stop working out. Like,
Do you think that's what caused the decline?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at certain sports and it's like 100%. Like, for example, like boxing after a certain weight class, you're going to be fucked up, right? Unless maybe you're like a Mike Tyson that just never really got hit all that often. Usually heavyweights are fucked up. I interviewed Mitch Blood Green and he couldn't even walk, barely talk. I had to put subtitles over every word. You know, Larry Holmes, Riddick Bowes, like these guys would get older and they could barely talk at certain, to certain points. I interviewed, guys like Tito Ortiz, like UFC fighters. I had 9 back operations. I got these pins here and my knees are fucked up and everything else like that. You look at wrestling, like all the wrestlers I interviewed, like they're, and you're saying, oh, that's not a real sport. No, that's a real sport. Like in fact, a lot of the wrestlers get hurt way more than like the UFC fighters and the boxers. So do you think that just extreme, that sports at the highest level, you really are pushing yourself beyond what a human body is supposed to do?
I mean, you got to talk to a doctor on, what a human body should expand like. But when it comes to the athlete themselves, is our disadvantage is being normal, right? So our eating habits are very different from the normal person, sleep habits, everything. So when we're done playing, how we survived in these weird hours, weird eating habits, when we come back to reality, we now have to adjust what you normally have adjusted to, right? We can't be vegans and play sports. That is very hard, right?
Are there professional athletes who are vegans?
Probably, probably trash. Just I can go on a team and look at somebody and say, "You're probably a vegan. You're probably a vegan." Okay. You're not going to have.
So none of the top guys are vegans.
You're not going to have some high level player being a full vegan, unless he's just doing it for social media purposes. He hate to say he's a vegan, but
just some players on the list. You got Chris Paul, Kyrie Irving, K. Cunningham.
Oh, they're vegan.
According to the internet.
When? Okay. Like towards the end of his career?
Warriors,
When did Kai become a vegan?
2017.
It's a long time. 8 years. I think probably those vegans are definitely. You're a vegan working with a top doctor who is giving you all types of supplements to make up for.
Yeah, but it's
you're
just,
not getting.
but when you're done, your habits stay, and those habits was created since you was little, right? You know what I mean? Those habits. So you're talking about, even though your career was 10 years, but think about your, from middle school when you started playing, right? So you're talking about 20, 30 years of a habit.
Yeah.
Like LeBron James, right? All he knows is this habit that he has. When he's done and say, all right, your body has to go be normal, he don't know what that is.
Yeah. I mean, Kareem had some ceremony recently. He's in a wheelchair now.
Yeah.
Because he fell.
But
He is older. I mean,
but he fell, something happened.
Yeah, but I think he
he fell. That's what it was.
He's in his 70s. He's all in 7'3", 7'4".
But most athletes, when they gain weight, same thing with, you have this eating habit, but you're not working out anymore. So then you gain 20, 40 pounds fucking in 2 months.
Yeah, for real.
Right? And then now you're putting pressure on your heart, your ligaments, and
knee,
all that shit. So
that shit hurts now. Like when you try to go play.
We don't take care of our bodies.
The same.
Like we don't maintenance our body like we supposed to when we're done playing.
So, like, for example, like in the Big Three, you guys both coached, right? How badly hurt were the players that are playing the Big Three? Like when the lights turn off and everyone's sitting around, like how much pain are these guys in after these games?
Shit, I can tell you now. It's hard to play back-to-backs for me. Like if I go to the gym.
Easy, but you don't take care of yourself.
Shit.
You don't do therapy.
Why would I, motherfucker?
See, there you go. Same thing with me.
Working out is taking care of myself.
That's not taking care of ourselves.
Shit, go in the gym.
No,
not like how we.
Not like how we
like that. But I'm just saying.
But think about the knees, right?
But as long as I ice them, that should be good.
But that's not the same as like when
Back
we
in
get
the day.
older. we not gonna really walk the way we want to walk and all that stuff like a normal 50, 60-year-old.
My feet
because of the injuries we have. We're sitting here like, well, as long as I can walk, I'm good. But I'm not gonna go do the therapy 3-4 hours.
Yeah, nah.
Because me, I do need to go through rehab and therapy so I can bend my knees fully and shit like that. But I'm sitting here like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm not gonna
certain things you can't fix. Like, for example, like I used to go like heavy on treadmill. Like I got obsessive with it. I have OCD. So at one point I was doing like 3 hours on treadmill. I was doing high incline. My knees were hurting. And I'm like, oh, it's just because I'm sore.
But
Got an MRI, I have torn meniscus. And it's like, you can't fix that. It's unfixable. The only thing you could do is do a meniscus surgery where they pull out your meniscus and pull. I think Lonzo Ball did that recently. But I'm saying certain things when they break, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't unbreak a torn meniscus stays permanently torn for the rest of your life. They can do an operation, cut out parts around it, but that almost makes it worse because now you have less ligament between your knees. Mm-hmm. That's an operation they used to do, they don't do anymore. So I'm saying, like, you play these games, you work through it, you ice your knees, they inject you with shit, but later on, you have to have the consequences of that.
Yeah, for sure. But
paid us good enough.
That's what I'm saying. For the money you're making, you wouldn't trade that, I imagine.
Hell no. Working at McDonald's with fully good knees, I'm good.
YOLO.
but I feel like YOLO
ain't it
works
crazy?
for me.
Did I tell you I interviewed this dude who got height surgery? He went from 5'5" to 6 feet.
Huh? And his legs is
They cut his legs in half up here. They cut his thighs in half.
And put his bow.
And they did another operation where they cut his shins in half. And what they do is they put metal rods in your legs. And every day there's a crank on the side. And you crank it to elongate the metal rod. And the bones are supposed to grow around the rod.
Oh,
and eventually they'll remove it. He spent $80,000 on these operations in Turkey, right?
Seems unnecessary.
Here's the craziest part about this whole interview. A certain percentage of people, if you don't go through the serious rehab, you will lose your ability to walk. You will end up with like a cane, a walker, or even a wheelchair, just so you could be a little bit tall. Like everyone here is like, I'm 6'2", everyone here is tall.
Yeah,
like,
we straight.
Like none of us have ever. I would not think to do this.
Bro,
but when you're 5'5", it just shows like the raw male insecurity.
I seen that.
You see what I'm saying?
Man, you go to Turkey, get you some legs and your hairline too.
Yeah, for sure.
You seen everybody in Turkey with just walking around with just shit on their head.
Pristine.
Everybody coming back from Turkey.
Wait.
Like they got chicken pox.
Okay, so
my shit gon' get it.
So they're gonna put a rod. They put a rod in, and the bone grows around it.
Yes.
And then they take the rod. How they take?
They eventually take the rod out.
How?
There's another operation. Well, they cut over
break the bone
because your bones are hollow.
Yeah.
So they somehow get inside there and pull the rod out. I'm not quite sure how it's done. He still has his rod.
I seen it. His legs is hella long, but his body.
Does he know his kid's gonna be 5'5"?
Yes. He knows.
It doesn't matter,
you know his kids are gonna be the same fucking
Just
height.
adopt some
He might get a
Africans.
tall
And then his
girl.
kids gonna be looking at like, man, damn, why I ain't get your height? You did.
So, Vlad, I want to go back to something you asked. You said, can Steph Curry be the GOAT? We asked the chat that 50% of the chat says yes, 50% says no. Can Steph Curry be the GOAT?
He's still playing. So
currently 24th in scoring, plays a couple more years, he can crack up into that top 10, has the ability now. We'll see.
He's still playing, but there's things that that the GOAT has that you just can't get anymore.
Yeah,
but
it's just.
I don't know.
Let's talk about this current Warriors team. Obviously, their quest, after Jimmy Butler trade, Draymond, Steph both said that this felt like a championship level ball club.
Yeah,
but you got Jimmy Butler, age 35, Steph, age 37. Can they keep playing at this level?
How old is Draymond?
33, 34, I think.
Damn.
You said 30 what?
33. Hold on, let me double check. 33.
He's younger.
He's older.
No, he younger than them?
He's 35.
Yeah, Draymond 35.
Yeah, he looks 45.
Draymond, so Jimmy 35, Draymond 35, Steph 37. The old heads taking on the youngsters, but can they play at this high of a level for an entire series and beyond, or do they even need to? If they can just get a couple of games with them at this level, they have enough to be able to.
Getting past this series, and then get defeated in the next one. That's.
Vlad, I got a question.
Yeah.
Yo, what's the craziest thing that happened that didn't make camp? Like that didn't make the camera.
Shit.
I did an interview with Monique. And her husband was part of the interview also. The entire time, her and her husband were like this on each other. Like not just, no, like the entire time they were holding each other with both hands.
That's true love.
Right? We do the interview. I thought it was a great interview. We get into like, her sexual abuse and, like it was a really deep, like, I don't think she's ever really done an interview this in depth before. It's a cool interview. I give them the release form. The husband's like, oh, I'm just gonna have my lawyer look at it. But no problem, I got you. Not a big deal. It's cool. Didn't really want to do it, but it's like I knew they probably would have walked out if I didn't do it. So all right, cool. We do the interview, get through it. Great interview, so forth. Goes to the lawyers, comes back. The lawyer had changed the release form to say that they will own the footage outright and they'll license it to me for like a year or so. And they would not budge. So ultimately the interview never came out. My lawyer said, well, just put it out, see what happens. I got a cease and desist. And it's like, that was the end of that. So ultimately the interview never came out. And it left a really bad taste in my mouth.
So you interview them, you put it out, they own it, and then after a year you take it off your page or put it on private?
I guess that's what they're referring. That's like saying, like I didn't sign a release form here, but I don't give a shit. That's like saying at the end of the show saying, okay, I'm gonna own this and I'll let y'all use it for a little while. It's y'all shit. Y'all filmed it, your cameras, your production, but I'm gonna own it and I'll let y'all use it for a little while.
Vlad, you could try that, but we won't let you leave the How do you do things a little different over here?
How do you own footage for a year? Because once the interview came out and a year passed.
They would want me to remove it, yeah.
And then you
if that's...
Then what? I mean, it's not like there's any interviews after that, for the most part.
It was...
Yeah, huh?
Just seemed to...
I can't imagine, like, if there was an agreement to this on some level, then maybe we split the cost or whatever else, but to have someone come in, we film it, we pay everything, everything else like that, it's our footage. I even offer to pay or something. Like, listen, how about if I give y'all, if it's a money thing, I'll give y'all this many thousand to just sign a regular release form. Like, nah, we have to control it. We need to own it.
Now, speaking of that, with the idea of what you just said, when people get the wrong idea about you when they say you're the police, I don't think people know how many steps that it takes for someone to do an interview and how much they can say, hey, you know what, can you erase this part? Can you delete this part? I don't think people understand that is actually a thing. They write a consent form, they can have their lawyer look at it, they can, hey, I've done it plenty of times where I said some shit like, yeah, man, can you take that out?
You called me and said, hey, take out this one part.
What part was that?
No, but I think people like when people get in trouble, like I guess rappers or something, they have the ability to say if oh shit, I said this, I shouldn't say that. Can you take that out?
Yeah.
Like, why do people not understand that?
I mean, we used to do that on No Chill all the time. If somebody wants something pulled.
So when it comes out, the person that did the interview, that's how they wanted it to come out.
Look, I mean, did you hear about the whole Swerve Strickland Booker T situation that happened recently? Does it get on your radar?
No.
No? Okay, so I did an interview. Well, okay, so 2020, I reached out to Booker T to do an interview. I was on
wrestler?
The wrestler.
Yeah,
right.
Wrestler.
I just did like New Jack. I just did Mark Henry. So I was like on this kind of wrestler kind of wave that I was like, reach out. Hit him up. It was like, yo, you want to do it? He's like, oh, absolutely. Yeah, let's do it. We scheduled it. He went to my studio and I fucked up the times. So I'm like, oh shit, I had mixed up the times. I called up, my assistant. I said, yo, I'm running late. Booker got pissed off, stormed out. Cool, I got it. I understand. I even hit him up after and said, yo, listen, I'm so sorry. I'll pay you an appearance fee to make up for your lost time. He's like, no, I'm not interested anymore. All right, cool, I got it. My fault, my mistake. So, 2025, a few months, maybe about a month ago, I interviewed Swerve Strickland. He was the former champion of AEW, the competitor with WWE. Actually, the first black AEW champion. Really dope interview. He was a big fan. We got into this. He did some time with WWE, but he had a bad experience with them. And I said, and he said it was somewhat racist and so forth. And Booker T had commented about Swerve Strickland publicly and said, well, I think that Swerve just, I didn't see any racism in the WWE, and I think Swerve just didn't do well and is looking for someone to blame or something to that extent, right? Now, Swerve had heard these comments before. He just never commented on it. No one ever asked him that. No one ever did the research to ask him that comment. So when I brought it up, Swerve was like, well, I don't know how Booker T could say WWE's not racist. What about this clip where Vince McMahon uses the N-word around him? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, the John Cena clip. It was Vince McMahon, John Cena, Booker T, and Vince McMahon like, all right, I'll see you later, my N-word. And then it zooms in on Booker T's face to see his reaction. Okay, interview comes out, whatever else. The next couple of days, Booker and Swerve are doing an event together, and Booker talks to Swerve about it. He's like, yo, man, you let VladTV play you. You got tricked. And Swerve was like, no, he brought up something you said. I addressed it. I stand behind and said, no, man, you got played. Booker T does this whole video about how, VladTV played him out, tricked him into that question. I would never do VladTV. He gets black men arrested. I turned down money. I would never do his show. And this is the kind of bullshit I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm dealing with. So I had to go on social media and defend myself. I said, here are the DMs of him actually at my studio. He forgot to mention that I did his show. But since you want to mention this fuck shit, here's a picture of Booker T training at the gym of a registered sex offender.
Wow.
This got so big that guy, the registered sex offender, got arrested the next day for when they looked into him, he had violated certain things about his his registered sex offender guidelines. So he actually was in jail the next day. So I said, yeah, Booker's right.
He's going to jail.
I get registered sex offenders arrested.
You going to jail, buddy?
I got a headache. Y'all trying to get me canceled on this show today. I'm going to go ahead and leave because I got a headache.
But this is This is the bullshit that I always have to deal with. It's like someone comes in, they answer the question, they answer it honestly and so forth. They don't have a problem with me asking the question. But then the person being talked about, suddenly it's my fault for asking the question. I'm now the enemy, and now I got this whole I said guy. Booker T is a working legal person. Why would he go to jail over anything, much less an interview with me? But this is the bullshit I deal with all the time. All the time.
No, I mean, I've seen it. I see it in comments, and it's like, you can just say, I don't want to answer that. And then if you do say something, you just like anybody else does it, hey, can you just erase that part? I don't want to get in trouble. That's the easiest thing to do.
Or ahead of time, like I've done here. I said, hey, listen, there's certain questions I just don't want you guys to bring up. And I've always had people respect it every single time. And just the same way. Like you'll come in and say, you'll do VladTV and say, hey, I don't want to talk about this drama I'm going through right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was supposed to interview Bun B in Houston when I was there last week, and we were going to do a Trill Burger, and he was like, we're all prepared to do it. Then he's like, he hit me up. He's like, yeah, I talked to my partners. We got a lawsuit coming up in June, so I just don't want to, so we're just not going to do it right now. Like people prepare for this shit and make logical decisions on whether they want to do it or not. But ultimately, it comes out, and I get blamed for a lot of shit that people willingly did.
Swaggy, they said you're good. You can come back.
We had a comment that I think someone wasn't listening to when
Jesus, talk about sports.
No, I don't think he was listening. Usually he doesn't, but it was Rashad McCants on the Kyrie thing. And he went at you because he didn't hear me say that you was for Kyrie in a sense. Not for Kyrie, but you. Yeah. Can you explain so he can?
Sure. So
Oh, shit.
When Kyrie was going through his whole cancel phase, he had, I think, tweeted out this movie, like from Negroes to Hebrews, or something like that, right? It's basically this filmmaker's attempt to show that black people in America are the true Jews, the true Israelites, or so forth, right? That's his opinion, and he went through. I mean, I had commented a couple times. The guy even reached out to me, wanted to do an interview. So I'm like, well, let me watch it. This thing was like 6 hours long, and it was like, oh, look at this bone structure versus this bone structure. Look at this tooth, and what you get lost in so many little details that you don't really understand if you're not like an actual doctor, which I don't even think the filmmaker is. But he wanted to prove his point. And at one point, like maybe 4.5 hours in, there was this alleged quote from Hitler, which there's no proof that Hitler ever said this, but it's something to the extent of the American Jew knows that that blacks in America are the true Jews, and he's going to try to suppress that to hide the truth. Which there's just no actual truth in any of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like biologically, for example, like I did a DNA test not too long ago, and a bunch of my DNA is from the Middle East, from Bedouin. You know what I mean? Because I'm a Russian Jew. So at one point, Jews spread out around the world, and they intermix with various people. You have kids if you're brown and you have kids with white people for 8 generations, the kids are going to eventually look white, with some features or whatever. So that was the comment that got people sort of upset, to think that there's some sort of hidden conspiracy of American Jews trying to hide the truth from black Americans. So that was the comment that got people upset and so forth. But what I said was, it was like 30 seconds in a 6-hour film. If Kyrie looked up and checked his phone for a second, he probably would have missed that. He wasn't pushing that part. He was just pushing
the movie
in general. And if you want to believe that, that's cool. If you want to claim something, that's cool. But I was overall defending Kyrie. So, and I think when you had the guy on your show, it was like, well, Vlad's trying to hide the truth and whatever else. And it's like, well, I don't think Hitler ever said this. Like, there's no actual historical documents that he actually said this. Hitler really did not like black people. Like, honestly, he sterilized black people and mixed people in Germany so they wouldn't reproduce, because it goes against the whole master race theory that the Nazi Empire was built on. So to think that he somehow loves American black people is a little ridiculous. This is why the Kanye thing is always a little bit ridiculous.
Because I remember I didn't watch the movie and I asked you about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are they attacking him? And you was like, I don't know. I watched the movie and I'm like, I don't know. Okay. Just so you cleared it up, you was on his side, so.
I was on his side.
Yeah.
I didn't think he meant anything bad by it. And listen, if you believe that, and that's your philosophy, that's cool. I support it. If you feel that you're this, you know what I mean? Like, it's religion. At a certain point, like, I really don't like this whole, like, God's favorite, bullshit. Like, I think that just sets up separation as opposed to bringing people together, honestly. So I don't like this, people trying to fight over who God favors over other people. I just think it messes people up.
Well, speaking of separation, let's spin this forward. What's the deal with the beef between you two and Larsa Pippen? There's been some stuff going on on the internet. I in between Bible studies, will kind of glance casually at social media.
What happened?
I mean, look, I have been outspoken about Larsa Pippen and what she's pulled off. I remember my stomach turned when I found out that she got part of Scotty's pension.
Damn.
Got his pension.
Damn.
It's bad enough he didn't sign a prenup. I get that. So, okay, maybe his salary, but his pension? And, when I had you on my show recently, what did I say? We talked about Marcus Jordan's arrest, and I was like, I feel like Larsa Pippen is somehow responsible for this. You're like, yeah, absolutely. And you just went off, right? We both went off. And you were like, she's ruined 2 great names in basketball, the Pippen name and the Jordan name. So, we did our thing. We cracked jokes. We had a little roast fest, while we're at it. And, there's other stuff. The fact that her son played on the same team as the guy she's sleeping with. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And so out of the blue, I get a DM from her. And at first I'm like, okay, it's not really her. It's probably like a fan account or something. But I'm looking, I'm like, 5.4 million followers. Oh, shit, okay, that's actually her. And it's like, stop talking about me, you fucking loser.
Damn.
Brought it back. When was the last time we were called fucking losers? Like, it's been a while.
I mean, that is funny. Yeah.
That is kind of funny, right?
Yeah.
So my response was, or what?
You said what?
Or what?
Or what?
Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do if I keep talking about you?
Then she did an interview, right? That's going to be.
Well, okay, so what happened was I was in this building, right? I was at this building where Jason Lee actually films Hollywood Unlocked. And some of his people, when I was in the valet, some of his people were like, oh shit, Vlad, we just interviewed Larsa Pippen. She was talking about you and Gilbert. Oh. You just missed her by like 5 minutes. Like I literally almost ran into her. I asked for Jason for some of the content, but he wouldn't give it.
How old is Larsa?
But I guess she went off on you more so than me. Yeah.
How old is Larsa?
If I'm Jason, I'm going to say Jason.
50.
Listen.
50?
According to the internet.
Going out around that 50?
Still.
I wouldn't release it personally if I'm you because this is just not a battle she wants to face because she hasn't done right by the name itself.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is her last name is what? Yunnan? What you've been doing with the Pippen last name, what if it was your actual father's name? How would that work out for your father? It wouldn't look right? The Pippen name, Scottie Pippen, name was protected by him. They had things going on. You having the last name, being who you are and doing what you're doing,
Fucking it up.
puts a scar on the name. Now, the problem with the last name that you carry, being who you are, you have kids that are famous. You have a son in the NBA right now. So the worst thing you can do, being Larson, is date in the same pool that your son is a professional in.
Yeah.
But
That is a slap in the face to that young man,
it just
right?
keeps
The worst thing you want is to be attractive enough to get one of his
I don't
friends.
know. Which one is worse?
That.
Teammate or
Both.
mom getting in some Gucci
Teammate.
flip-flops? Think about
What?
that. The Gucci flip-flop song was for her.
I don't give a fuck about no Gucci.
Wait, what?
I was a high.
The Future song?
Yeah,
That's
for her.
fine.
That's about her?
Yeah.
That's fine. It's a
Every
rapper.
Future keeps saying about the
Cool. I'm my teammate.
Nah.
My teammate, like
I think it's worse if your mom is getting piped down by dudes in the NBA and dudes that you got to play
you're
against.
fucking walking around with like that.
Imagine being in the showers when
yeah,
the dude is fucking
Gucci
your mom.
flip-flops on the
That's
floor.
another
And niggas in the
profession.
club
That's
playing
fine.
like
That's another profession. But I gotta sit up here and play against this dude and he piping my mom down.
Right.
Like that's crazy. And then it's known around the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like
you can't do your homework somewhere else.
Like that's what I'm
Did
saying.
you
Go
try
date
to
another
pipe some
sport.
down
Don't
some
date
Gucci
this
flip-flops?
sport.
Right, there's football. There's
Trying to pipe
hockey.
something down and some Gucci flip-flops out there.
Yes.
Dude, listen.
Thank you.
Like, stop like it's not a
dude, that's
thing.
fine, but that's
It is
rapper.
a
We
thing.
talk
No, it
about
ain't.
basketball.
But ain't the
Fuck with
thing.
rappers. That's cool.
Yeah.
My
go over
mother
there.
is having sex with a player or somebody in the NBA, and I'm an NBA player.
That shit
You
crazy.
better act like
embarrassing.
it's embarrassing.
It's
That is the
embarrassing.
most embarrassing thing you can do as a mother.
Yeah.
Sleeping with someone at the same profession.
what was
Like
it?
that's what I'm saying. So your kids now is Scottie Pippen. What you do with Scottie Pippen's name school, your sons and daughters own the name too.
Yeah.
Their blood right to that name. Now they're famous. So whatever you do affects them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because no one says Larson Yunnan. They don't say that. They have the same last name, the fucking name. He's in the playoffs. It has his name on it. You're walking around with that name, dating niggas that's his age. You can't do that. There's things you can't do anymore, and you're doing it because it's not yours. Because if you go back to your father's name, everything you've done is erased because no one knows it.
Remember when
That's the problem. So you don't want to run this battle with me because I've had conversations with him. I have a son whose mother is attractive to other NBA players, and I know his scare, just like any other scare. Just like the little joke. Like no people did the joke, and it went over everyone's head, but no one actually thought about it. Where when Bronny James came into the NBA. And it was like, oh yeah, your father sleeping with your mother. It was a little funny joke, but in reality, that is a thing. Yeah. But no one thinks about throwing it around when you got some of these mothers that's still attractive. And that mother is out there doing motherly things with celebrities that's putting blasted in real life.
Remember, there was the rumor with LeBron's mom and Delonte West.
I don't even know if that was real. But I know
it became a big thing. Yeah. Then, or even kind of got Delonte out of there after that. If you think about it.
Or even like the kid that went to UCLA, his mom was dating Drake. Like that's in
right. Yeah, that's
like I'm out here trying to make it's just kind of like
kids don't understand that. Like when
but they look for that. Them girls be looking for that.
That's what I'm saying. Sick. Those mothers be looking for the attention while the kid themselves is like, sit down.
Yeah. Right?
Like you know what I mean? You see these celebrities at the gym, and now you want to walk and show people you there. What you think the kid is doing? Yeah. He's like, yo, sit the fuck down. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Be at them high school games looking at them mamas.
Like, so, I mean, you can sit here and try to, do your interview and say all this, but I have social media.
I know how
I see who don't follow you anymore. I see who don't support you anymore.
Who doesn't follow anymore?
I'm just saying.
Don't follow it.
I see.
You told me before the interview.
I see they chose the father over. I'm just saying.
Everybody has social media. Y'all can figure that out on your own.
They support. Hey, listen. They support the father more.
The kids,
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, mama tripping though. But I'm saying that was just the thing that started it off.
But that didn't affect them. They wasn't in the NBA. They wasn't. One is in college. One is in the NBA now.
Anything about your mama is embarrassing.
But you don't know me. You don't know me though. You don't know me. The world don't know me. My mother gets called out. You don't know me as a kid.
I'm anything about.
Once I become a pro, now my name is known. Now you know my mom. Oh, your mom is the one that blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, shit.
But still,
when you're doing it in real time.
School, even if you're in high school and your mom is out,
I'm in middle school.
Kids ain't going to talk crazy about it.
But those are kids. That's not national.
That'll make it worse. Them kids be killing them themselves.
Yeah, but that's still, no facts.
True. Yeah, social media, that's dangerous.
But that's what I said. These, I call them the 90s mothers. Late 90s, but these 2000 mothers, they don't understand this. They don't understand that. Like, get a regular boyfriend, sit your ass down. Or if you do have the last name, get someone and y'all go unnoticed, like you're dating the professional still.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
Like, listen to like Jordan, Juanita Jordan. You don't see her out here doing that. Like, understand what the top names do. You have a powerful name. There's shit you can't do with it.
Well, hopefully they are watching this show, but let's move on to MostlyFans.
But she don't want me to go.
I've heard, something.
She don't want me to go on No Chill Gill and get dissecting.
I'll say this.
Loud motherfucking light it up.
I've heard some interesting, without going into any details, I've heard some interesting stories about Juanita while she was still married to Jordan, but it was kept very, very quiet.
Of course, keep it. I don't give a fuck.
Completely quiet. And this is what multimillionaires and so forth, this is how they handle their situation.
When you got kids out here who are becoming professionals and they start making a name for themselves, there's just things the parents can't do.
Yeah. That's cool.
But there's things
nobody say you're not attractive. You just can't do the attractive shit you did when you were younger. You can't do that now. They're professionals now.
All right. Well, let's move to MostlyFans presented by Underdog. So we got one question from
Don't worry about that.
Underdog user Black Shadow 74. So who are your top 5 players that don't have rings? Top 5 players that do not have a championship ring.
Who, me? Nick Young. That's my favorite.
Number one.
What did he say? What's the question?
Top five players that don't have rings.
You my favorite. So Nick, AI.
I'm gonna have a ring this weekend though, 2-on-2 tournament. Baby! Yeah!
See, you see how I did that?
Yeah!
I made him disown his real ring.
Yeah!
See, I knew he didn't fuck with the ring like that. But
you know what?
AI.
Well, you do have a ring.
I know, but see,
But
AI.
Where do you keep the ring, by the way? I mean, do you still have
Under
it
the
like,
sink.
in your possession?
Yeah. Go tell him where you keep the ring. Swag.
Get the fuck out. Let's wrap around.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Okay, so mine is AI. Penny Hardaway.
We already walk him out. Come on, man.
But
Niggas gotta
James
walk
Harden.
Barkley?
Nah, he wasn't one of my favorites.
Okay.
Sean Kemp.
Nah, he wasn't one of my favorites either.
He was one of mine.
Man, who else is out there?
Daryl Dawkins.
I would just say, like, just for me as a real sports fan, it was just them.
Dominique Wilkins. Didn't he win one?
Wasn't one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go AI.
Chris Paul. No.
John Stockton. Karl Malone. Charles Barkley.
Yeah, your era, yeah.
That's 4, right? I don't know. The 5th.
I'm going to throw Dominique Wilkins
You just Dominique Wilkins there?
in that list for me.
Oh, T-Mac.
T-Mac.
Sure.
All right, well.
Carmelo Anthony.
Melo.
Melo.
That's a good one.
Melo, my 5th.
Melo. That's my
This
5.
whole Hall of Fame, Dwight Howard, all of them.
He got one.
He has a ring.
He has a ring.
Oh, he did win one with the Lakers.
But that's our show for today. Shout out DJ Vlad for pulling up. Make sure y'all subscribe to VladTV on YouTube.
Can I talk about the YouTube masterclass
Go ahead.
before we go?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Reason why.
Shut up.
So, I launched on the VladTV YouTube channel, the VladTV YouTube Masterclass. This is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. It launched about a month and some change ago. This is a tier on youtube.com/VladTV/join. You can choose the membership. It's $100 a month. And what it is that I break down all the lessons of what I did to grow VladTV into a multi-million-dollar a year operation over the course of the last 17 years. There's lots of other people that have done these types of lessons, but there's no one else that have had this level of success for this long, consistently, year after year. So there's a lesson about how I launched the channel and kind of the philosophies that I used and all the mistakes that I made. There's a channel about, here's a $100 video setup, and here's a $40,000 setup at our New York studios. There's a lesson about how to get celebrity guests, because every major podcast has big celebrity guests. There is a channel about how the money is made. So here's how one video made over $50,000. And what we do is on top of that, every month we drop an exclusive segment from someone I interview who's a successful YouTube channel. And actually just today, we launched the one with you, how you broke down how you make $20 million a year off of your YouTube channel.
Hold up.
Wait, what the fuck?
Wait a minute.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, what?
I gotta walk?
Yeah, we got us out here walking green miles and shit.
I don't know.
We gotta talk.
I don't know what Vlad talking about, man.
See how everybody just turned their head like
Wait, hold on. 20 million.
20 million.
20 million.
Nigga, wait, how much?
It's out right now.
All this shit.
You break it down, the sponsorships, revenue.
Oh, nah.
So they can go on your YouTube channel.
YouTube channel right now, and you subscribe to the membership, and you can actually watch it. And the Gilbert episode is actually probably my favorite episode, because we also have with academics and people like that. But the way that Gilbert broke it down, and people are like, that's not true, but you actually break it down. I remember at one point, I'm like, how much YouTube revenue do you make? Like, I don't know. Let me check my phone. I never check it. You actually show how much you made last month. And it's a big amount.
Well, how much is that? Because
I have no idea.
I don't know. Well, we about to go see it.
Can I say it?
You know, no.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't say it. Anyways, but it's a breakdown from an actual, every month there's a successful YouTuber. This is only, only here. And look, it's not just Gil. It's like, it really goes around the gamut. So for example, I interviewed Birdman's brother, Terrence Gangster Williams, who was responsible for all these murders. He gets out after 27 years. He has to, deal with a probation officer. He has to keep a job. After I did an interview with him, he started his own channel. And now he makes over $100,000 a year as a convicted felon working out of his home, where he doesn't have to go work at Tyson Chicken Plant, hosing down chicken blood. You know, I mean, he actually makes a good living as the owner of his own business. And so I feel this is extremely important in the community because people always ask me this. And really the breakdown of it, as well as going live, you know, every other week I go live and I actually review people's YouTube channels right there on the spot and show them what exactly they can improve on and so forth.
Okay.
And I mean, this is something that I've been wanting to really build up. And the reaction has been crazy. I didn't think I was going to get this many signups and this many people that are actually involved in it. So if you're really serious about your YouTube channel, if you have one already and you want to grow it or you're getting ready to start one, I would absolutely recommend that you sign up.
All right, well, make sure y'all sign up for Vlad's master course on all things YouTube. Appreciate you taking time to pull up the couch. Appreciate everybody else on the couch. Appreciate everybody on the chat. Appreciate you, the Underdog, as well. This has been another episode of Gil's Arena, presented by Underdog. Whoop, whoop! We will see y'all tomorrow.